Is day 1, week 20. Right? Listen to how that sound, right? Day 1, week 20 in our journey together in these classes. Certainly very happy to have each and every one of you here. We're going to do 1 hour of Bgcse material and then 1 hour of Bgcse material. And so let's begin with the Bgcse material. I thought to myself that, what I really want to tackle today is, for the Bgcse people, is fractions, because I don't know how confident I am with, I shouldn't say I don't know how confident I am. I think that you all need some more practice doing fractions by hand, especially my Bgcse people, like no calculator.
Wait, hold on.
Go ahead. Yeah, yeah, so I want us to look at that. How to add fractions, not just fractions with mixed numbers, how to subtract them properly, how to do it with like denominators and unlike denominators, and how really just to master that skill, right? Because I know it's very involved, and it can become hairy, and so I really want you all to master that skill and develop it, especially with the mixed numbers one. And so we're gonna work with
In
that.
a full class though.
Say it again.
I was saying this in a full class, right? With all the main characters, protagonists.
The people who are here are here. My Bgcse people are here.
Mr. T.
Hey,
Like tonight, you could do them percentage thing.
percentage. You want me to look at percentage too?
Yes, sir.
All right, we can look at that. Percentage word problems or just percentage conversion them from decimals to
like percentage on the whole.
percentage on the whole. Okay, glad that you say that. All right. Okay, good. So
Like them said like some of them used to get a word problem, like where you gotta put, like if you put 20 over something, then like 40% over 100 and something.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah. I will definitely. Thanks for mentioning that. I will definitely look into that. Those are some of the skills that I believe that we need more practice on. At least my Bgcse students need more practice on, because you won't be given a calculator, and so I really want you all to be able to milk it by hand. And so let's begin. Where do we begin? I had it up somewhere. Okay, this way I had it up. It's still wrong though. Let me see if did I sign in the right thing. All right, good. I signed. Okay. Someone is asking to join. Okay. All right. So I want us to look at.
You weren't sharing, by the way.
I'm not sharing my screen yet. Wow.
I thought you
did.
I thought I was sharing.
I thought you was signing into something. That's probably why you wasn't sharing.
I I I thought I was sharing. Okay. Give me one moment, and I'll begin to share. Okay, there we go. Let me share my screen. Okay, so with these questions, I want you to do them by hand, right? And we're gonna do them by hand for the most part. I just want you to develop that skill. Bgcse and Bgcse are like just develop that skill of doing it, of of dealing with these sort of problems. And so we're gonna start off easy. Y'all can see my screen, right?
So
Yeah, we're gonna start off easy as they are, and we're gonna try to get 100 on this thing. So let's begin. You could try it on your side. I'll do it on my side. and hopefully we get the same answer. All right, so I'll begin working it out because I don't want to take too long because we have a lot to go. Um,
Sweetie,
yes, sir.
time use knock off.
What time is knock off from
Yeah,
school? From
yeah.
school? No, you say that.
Now I just was asking. So I
Oh,
want to find, I find when you get time to make these stuff.
I didn't make this. See,
No?
this from a site.
Oh, okay.
This from a site. I ain't that. Oh, I ain't that productive. Um, well, but this one, there's multiple ways to do this, but I'll tell you the easy way that I think, right? Um, for this one, you want to add the whole numbers, okay? First, right? Add the whole numbers first. So 5 and 3 is what? Let's go 5 and 3. 5 plus 3 is 8.
8.
So we're gonna add. So that's 8. Then we'll do the fractions. So, but the fraction is just 3/11 and 6/11. And so they have like denominators, you see what I'm saying? And so it's gonna be um 6 plus 3, which is what?
9.
9/11. Okay, and so that's what we have. So the answer is 8 and 9/11. Hopefully you'll have no questions with that. You have to take screenshots because the moment I move this, it's going to disappear.
I'm trying to write them, but
Yeah. Okay, so let's begin. Let me move this. So 8 and 9/11. That's what we got. 8. And now I don't know how they want us to write it as a as a thing. I hope this is it. I hope this is how they want it. Okay, good, perfect. All right. So this one is also easy. We should be able to do this with one crank. What is
5 and 2 over 4.
5? You sure 5? Because
Oh,
what we have here, we
4.
have
4.
3
4 my.
plus 1. 3 plus 1 is 4, right?
Yes, sir.
We add in the numerator, so it's going to be 1 plus 1, which is what?
2.
2 over what?
4.
4. But the problem is this 2 over 4 it can be reduced, right? So if you look
To
at
1 over 2, right?
yeah, to 1 over 2, because if we have 2 over 4, right? We divide the top um by 2, we divide the bottom by 2, and so 2 divided by 2 is definitely 1, and then 4 divided by 2 is definitely 2. So we could reduce it. They didn't say if they wanted to reduce, but better we reduce it in any event. And so it'll be 4 and 2 over 4, which is simply um,
Mm.
1 over.
Facility
Uh,
in the exam, right? Like if they don't say reduce it, but you still reduce.
Definitely still reduce. Still reduce.
Mm.
Okay, so we got that. Yay, we up to 19. I hope we don't
Oh
fail.
yeah.
All right, what we're gonna do here? Subtraction, right? So we're gonna subtract the whole numbers. 11 minus 7 is what?
3.
No, man. 11 minus 7.
4.
Oh, shoot, 4.
4.
Bro, what? I skipped a finger just now.
um, it's interesting because we have um. Okay, all right. I like this question. This is a slick question because look, if we do 1/7 minus 4/7, what would that be?
Negative.
Negative 3/7, right?
Negative 3
You
over
have to
7.
borrow.
Yeah, but that's not gonna be good. So
Negative.
um, what we could do to deal with this is we can't do it because then we'll end up getting negative. So we could change both of these to improper fractions and then hit it like that. Ricardo, you were saying something about borrowing. What do you mean by that?
I was saying, you could have borrowed from 11. Would it be possible?
Um, I never thought of it like that, but I don't see why that shouldn't work. I mean, because we could write 11. We could write it. We could write 11 and 1/7 as we could write that as 10 plus 7 over 7 plus 1 over 7 is right. Y'all agree? We could do that.
Mhm.
Because 7 over 7 is 1, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so this will end up being what? We can say 10. And what is 7 plus 1? That's what?
11.
8 over 7. You see what I'm saying? Because 7 and 1, that's 8.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? We
Yes,
keep the
sir.
7 denominator. And so what we have here is we have 10 and 8 over 7. I like that idea. So we could use that idea. So this is 10 and 8 over 7. And so 11 and 1 over 7 is the same thing as 10 and 8 over 7. And so we're going to take the 10 and 8 over 7 and subtract that with 7 and 4 over 7. And so we could deal with the whole numbers first. That'll be what? 10 and 7, which is what? 10 minus 7 is what? Let's go.
3.
3.
3.
Very good. And then 8 minus 4 is, because we didn't know these two.
4.
8 minus 4 is 4. And we keep the denominator.
Well, denominator.
Good. And so it's 3 and 4 over 7. That's cool. I never even thought about it like that. But hey, let's see if it works though. Alright, I'm gonna move it. So there it goes. 3 and 4 over 7. Let's see. Wow, perfect. Good. Write your answer as a fraction. Okay, so okay, good. This one is the same idea, right? Because if we do 13 minus 4, so if we do 7 minus 11, that'll give us a negative number. So we have to borrow, like Ricardo said. So what it end up being, it'll be, say, this 13. If we allow this one to be borrowed. So what I mean is 13 and 7 over 12. Help me out. How could we write this out? This will be written as what?
12.
12 plus what?
7 over 7. I mean 12 over 12.
12 over 12. Good. Plus what? 7 over 12
So 7 over 12.
is equal to 12. And what is 7 and 12? What is that? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yes, ma'am?
When we do the 12 plus 12, we use, like when we doing that step, you use the bottom number.
Yeah, use the bottom number. Okay. Use the bottom number.
But I get 12.
How I get 12? You mean this?
Yes, sir.
Because I borrow from the 13, so I basically minus 1. So essentially, look, this is 12, and 12 over 12 is 1. So this is 1 right now, and this is 12. And if you combine them, you get 13. So what I did was I split the 13 into 12 and 1.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's how
So,
you get that.
yeah,
Thank you for explaining.
no problem.
so Mr. Petite, it would be 12 and 19 over 12.
Yeah, 12 and 19 over 12. That's what this thing becomes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So I didn't just add it directly to the 7 one time.
Why didn't I just add? I wanted to show the working.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to show the working, and then yeah, if I didn't show the working, it would have been worse. So I wanted to show why we get 19 over 12. Okay, someone is asking to join. So we get 12 and 19 over 12.
Mhm.
All right, so we have 12 and 19 over 12. Okay, so 12 And 19 over 12 minus what? Minus 4 and 11 over 12, right? And so 12 minus 4 is what? It's what? 12 minus
8.
4 is 8.
Six.
Not
8.
6, 8.
8.
We do not change the denominator, so at the denominator we can have 12 here. And then 19 minus 11 is what? 11, 12, 13, 14,
8.
15, 16, 17.
8.
8. So we have 8 and 8 over 12, but we could simplify that
We could
further.
simplify that.
So we could use what? 4.
4.
8 divided by 4 is 2.
2.
And 12 divided by 4 is 3. So the answer is 8 and 2 over 3. So let's submit that in. 8 and 2 over 3. See if we get that right.
Yes, sir.
Moving forward. 36. Almost reached 100.
So
Go ahead.
roll back a bit, right? Why are we doing the borrowing in the first place again?
We're doing the borrowing because this number was lower than this number. And so when you try to subtract them, so say if we have 1, if we have 1 minus, say, 3, right? We'd end up getting like a negative 2. And we don't want that, right? And so that's why we do the borrowing.
Why you don't want that?
We don't want it because it's not true.
Okay.
It ain't accurate, right? That algorithm fails to account for this. So we have to use a different one that is actually true to reality. Because you know your algorithms have to be true to reality. And so the algorithm that we use is not mirroring what it actually is. You see? So that's why we can't do it. So let's move on. So this one is pretty simple. We simply add the whole number.
I have an answer.
What is 8 and 7?
15.
15. And it's gonna be what?
2.
Add the numerator, so it's 2 over 10.
So, Mr. Petit, I remember you saying that. Someone was saying something first?
Go ahead. 2 over
Well,
10.
You
I
with
remember
me?
you.
It could simplify to 1 over 5.
Yeah, 2 over 10. One moment, Mr. Bethel. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we have 15 and 1 over 5. Boom, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Bethel. You saying something?
Yes, you were saying addition have a special trait, right? Whereas it don't matter what.
Yeah, it's commutative. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So why wouldn't you just swap or flip the fraction positions?
That's because it was not addition. He's dealing with subtraction.
Okay.
Like in this
So
case.
it's subtraction don't have that.
No, subtraction is not commutative because
Okay, so one is actually a negative and one is a positive at that point then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one is where we have to borrow again, because if we look carefully, if we do 1 minus 2, that'll be negative 1, and so we can't do that. So we have to borrow from the 13. So we could write 13 and 1 over 3 as 12. What I'm gonna write plus what? Anyone remember? 3 over 3. You all figured already? Plus 1 over 3.
Oh.
All that time I was muted, I was answering you.
Okay. And then we add the 3 and the 1. That's going to be 4 over 3. And so we have now is we have 12 and 4 over 3 minus 10.
10 and 2 over 3.
So what is 12 minus 10?
2.
2.
And what is 4 over 3 minus 2 over 3?
1 over 3.
No.
Wait. Repeat that again.
4 over 3 minus
2
2 over
over
3.
3. 2 over 3.
2 over 3.
Still 2 over 3.
My fault.
Yes, I got that.
I thought you said 3 over 3 minus 4 over 3.
And so the answer is what? 2 and 2 over
2 over 3. Yes, I got that.
3. All right. Moving right along.
Okay, now this one is too obvious,
That one
bro.
is too obvious. Eh?
That's fine. Let's skip that one. Come on.
No,
Let's
we
skip.
can't skip. We can't move on.
Like,
We
why
can't.
not?
We
We'll just
can't.
get it wrong. The answer is like 14, 7
14.
over 9.
14 and 7 over 9.
14 and 7 over 9. Very good.
Should have just skipped that one.
Get it wrong? Never.
Oh, I don't know about this
9
one.
and 4 is
But
what? Oh, yeah, we have a difference, right?
Oh,
We have unlike terms.
look at me, you're
But we could add the 9 and the 4 though. 9 and 4 is what? 13.
13.
Y'all let this shit. Let's go. We need to move. We moving through these. All right, and then this is 1 and 4. Sorry, 1 over 4. Let me do it on this side. We need space.
Wait, we have to make them like denominators, right?
Yeah. So 1 over 4 plus 1 over 12. What number we could use to make them? What is the lowest common multiple?
4.
No,
12.
12.
yes,
So
12.
what times 12? What times 4 gives me
3.
12?
3.
3.
3 times 3. Whatever I do to the bottom, I must do to the top.
Yes.
Times 3. What times 12 give me 12?
1.
1.
1. Very good. Alright, this is going to be equal to 1 times 3 is
3.
3.
4 times
Over
3 is 12
12.
plus 1 over 12.
And the
Which
answer is
gives us
12 over 12. 12 over 12.
12,
I suppose.
which equals to
2 over 3.
1 over
3.
4 goes into 12 3
Oh,
times.
I see my mistake.
And
I
then
see.
4 goes into 12 3 times. So it's 13 and 1 over 3.
Mr. Petit, where you get the 4 and 4 over 12 from?
3 plus 1 is 4.
Oh, shoot.
So 1 over 3. 13 and 1 over 3.
I didn't.
Okay, this one, we have to do the same thing. What is 9 minus 3?
Mr. Petit, I didn't see what you do for the rest. The ending.
Okay, you didn't see what I did? That's what I did. I didn't take a screenshot of it. Oh, too bad. Sorry, my apologies. I could take a screenshot the next time. My apologies. Okay, so we have to be quick with the screenshots because we're trying to finish this in record time. How much elapsed time do we have? Look at that, 18 minutes. Wow, that's bad. All right, 9 minus 3 is
6.
6. These two are not like fractions, so we have to convert them, right? So what we have is we have 1 over 7 minus 1 over 3. What we do is what's the lowest common multiple between these two?
21.
21. I go 21.
21.
What times 7 is 21?
3.
3. Whatever we do to the bottom, we must do to the top.
Up.
What times 3 is 21?
7.
7.
I know the multiplication tables is on point. That's very good.
Lionel, you are an inspiration.
Inspiration. Trust me,
1 times
I'm not giving to that math. I know like the simple math thing, but the angles them, the angles, the area and
1 times 3 is
3.
7 times 3 is
21.
21. 1 times 7 is
7.
7. 3 times 7 is
21.
21. That's interesting, 21. Oh, we have a problem again, eh?
Oh Lord, what happened?
Wait, man.
The problem again.
They had to been so complex.
We have a problem again. We use 21. This is so funny. If we use 21, see, this is gonna be 3 over 21 minus 7 over 21, which is not right. Well, that means we have to, what we have to do to move all this, we have to take 9 and 1 over 7 and borrow from the 9. So it's going to be 9 and 1 over 7 equals 2. They never bring these hard ones like this on Bgcse. You know? When I say hard ones, I mean the one that involves borrowing. They don't.
It just won't be difficult. That's all I can say.
Plus 1 over 7. And so we end up with what? 9 and what? 7 plus 1 is 8 over 7. Good. So we have 9 and 8 over 7. And so we're going to focus on the 8 over 7. Why say 7? Yeah. 8 over 7. So it's going to be 8 over 7 minus 1 over 3. We use 1 over 3 because we're dealing with this one. We didn't use 1 over 7 because, well, we added that to the 7 over 7. So, yeah. So 8 over 7 and 1 over 3. So the lowest common multiple again is still 21. So 7 times 3 is 21. And then 3 times 7 is 21. Whatever we do to the bottom, we must do to the top. And so it is going to be 7 times 3 is 21.
Yes,
8
21.
times 3 is...
8 times 3. 8 times. You say 8 times 3?
Yeah, let's go. Come on, quickly.
6.
20.
Duh.
What? Come on, 8 times 3.
You say 8 times 7.
8 times 3.
24. My fault.
24. Mercy. They had to go on the calculator looking
My
back.
fault.
3 times 7 is
21.
21. 1 times 7 is 7. And so now we can subtract it. So we keep the denominators the same. So it's still 21. And look at this. Look at the foolishness we're doing. Why is it still 9? It's supposed to be 8.
Simple mistakes, Mr. DT.
Yeah, we almost get that wrong. If we get the one wrong, they put us back, right? Alright, so 8. Good. So 24 minus 7 is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. What is that? 24 minus 7. Hello? 24 minus 7.
You say 24 minus 7?
Yeah.
17.
Yeah, I got 17 too.
Wait,
So we have 17 over 21. Good. So now the answer is going to be our numerators, fractional part is 17 over 21. But remember, this 9 became an 8, right? And so it's 8 minus 3. Okay, 8 minus 3. What is 8 minus 3?
Pardon?
8 minus 3 is?
5.
5.
So the answer is 5. 17 over 21. 5 and 17 over 21. All right. Boy, saved by the bell. Okay, good. Don't go with time. 64%. Okay, almost there. Now we could add this easily, right? 10 and 7 is what?
17.
17.
Good. We have 1 over 2. Let's do this quickly.
6.
What's the lowest common multiple?
6.
What times 2 is 6?
3.
3.
Come on, Mr. DT. Okay.
6.
2.
2. Good. So this is going to be
3 over 6 plus 2 over 6. Come on, Mr. DT.
3 times 1. 1 is 3. And 3 times 2 is 6 plus
5 over 6, Mr. DT. Come on, man. Mr.
3 times 1 is 2. And 3 times 2 is 6. It's going to be equal to 5 over 3 plus 2 is 5 over 6. Good. And so we have 5 over 6. Awesome. Okay, now some of that's in the join. Okay, good. All right, quickly, this is going to be 7 plus 3.
Mr. Petit.
Huh?
So only when we borrow, the number in front goes down.
Yes, only when we borrow. Okay. 7 plus 3 is
10.
10, no doubt. And then let's do, say, then we have to deal with the fractional parts, right? So
Yes,
it's
sir.
going to be 7 over 11 plus 4 over 5.
55 by the
55, very good. Very good, Lionel. Very good. Multiply this by what to get 55?
5.
Multiply 11 by 5 to get 55. Whatever we do to the bottom, we must do to the top. And 5 times what number is 11?
11.
11.
Just said that.
That's the answer, right? And then
35.
very good. 11 times 5 is
5.
Is equal to 7 times 5 is 35
35.
plus 5 times 11 is still 55. And then 4 times 11 is definitely 44.
44.
Now we gotta do 35 plus 44.
And when you add them, you get 79.
Yes, sir.
All right.
79.
5 plus 4 is
9.
9. 4 plus 3 is 7. It's gonna be equal to 79 over 55.
Over 55.
You know what they're causing us to do? They are really running out. 79 over 55, we have to convert that into a mixed number again.
Oh my gosh.
I mixed fraction.
Mr. Petit, how come we didn't do it for the other one?
Because the other ones were proper, right? When we came here, it's like 2 over 5, 3 over 7, stuff like that. Like they wasn't.
What about the one where we get 10 and 8 over 7?
No, like 8 over 7. When we subtracted that, it still became a regular fraction. So your fractional part have to be a regular fraction. Not
Mr. PT.
Yes,
Oh, I
sir.
forget that.
All we're doing is just substituting 55 into 74. I mean 79.
Yeah, we're gonna divide that. I just didn't want to do
1
it.
over 24
Yeah.
over 55.
Okay.
It's gonna be 1. 55 times 1 is
24 over 25.
5.
This 24.
Minus 9 minus 5 is
4.
7 minus 2 is 20.
2.
This is equal to 1 and 24 over
55.
5. And we cannot simplify that, right?
No, you cannot. Provide.
Okay, so that means we have 1 and 24 over 55, along with this whole number, 3 and 7. And so this is going to be 3 and 7 is what? 10, right? But remember this 1 right there, so it's going to be 11. And so, and remember the 24 over 55, so that's going to be here as well. So 24 over 55. So it's going to be 11 and 24 over 55. Okay. All right. 11 and 24 over 55. Cross fingers. Oh, okay, good. All right.
It sounds like you're the only one who's scared.
I mean, hey, a simple mistake, simple error, How are we looking? Oh, we got a medal already. Look how that shines. Good. All right, so let's go. So 16 minus
8.
3.
yeah. I even worried.
Hello?
Let's deal with the fractions
Oh.
first. So 4 over 5 minus 1 over 2. Obviously the lowest.
Oh yeah, Mr. BP.
You found what?
I mean, Mr.
What
I
happened?
found my phone.
Oh,
It was in the car. It was on the side of the car seat. I got on it. I like spent how much weeks? I spent like a lot of weeks looking for that, and all that time it was underneath the seat.
that's good. 5 times 2 is 10. 4
Yeah.
times 2 is 8. Minus, okay, 1 times 5, simply 5. 5 times 2 is 10. They give us an easy one. 8
Yeah,
times 5 is 3 over. Oh man, they give us a nice one. It's a
that
nice
was
one.
good.
All right, 16 minus 8 is
8.
8, right? And so we have 8 and what? 3 over 10?
3 over 10.
Yeah, that's an easy one. That's a giveaway. 8 and 3 over 10. All right.
How much it even is?
Good. 75. Good. All right. So next up
I
is
think we have like 5 more questions.
okay. So let's deal with these. I didn't see we got the borrow. I don't know if y'all see it already. Because in order to get to 12, we need to multiply this by 6. If we multiply this by 6, we have to multiply that by 6. So we'll have like 6 over 12. And this will still be 1 over 12. And so we have to borrow already. So I'm not even gonna do it with 1 over 12. I'm just gonna borrow one time. So 12 and 1 over 12 equals.
What happened?
I'm saying I have to borrow. You understand why or no?
Nope.
No. What I'm saying is, look, this is 1 over 2, and this is 1 over 12, right? And so when we try to make this like same denominator, we have to multiply this one by 6. We have to multiply this one by 6, right? If we do that, this would be 6, and this will still be 1. And so this will be 1 minus 6. 1 minus 6 is negative 5. And so we don't want no negatives though. And so we have to borrow already. So yeah, it's a perfect case for borrowing. And so it's going to be 12 and 1 over 2, 1 over 12, sorry, which is equal to, well, 11 plus 12 over 12.
Isn't it minus?
No, because we took away 1 from the 11, so that's the 1 there. Because 11 and 1 is still 12. And then plus 1 over 12. And so we are left with 11, 12, and 1 is 13. So this is 11 and 13 over 12. Good. And so now we have 4 and 1 over 2. So we have, this here is 11 and 13 over 12. That's what that is. So we have 11 and 13 over 12 minus 4 and 1 over 2. And so this is going to be 13 over 12 minus 1 over 2. The lowest common multiple is definitely 12. So what times 12, what times 2 gives me 12 is what? What times 2 gives me 12?
Good.
6. Okay, we do the bottom, we do the top. What times 12 give me 12?
1.
1. So we have 12 times 1 is 13. minus 12 times 1 is 12. Sorry, 13 times 1 is 13. 12 times 1 is 12. Minus 1 times 6 is 6. And 2 times 6 is definitely 12. And so now we have 13 minus 6 is 7. And 12 remains. So it's 7 over 12. Okay, so it's 7 over 12. And so we have 7 over 12 along with, remember this is the 11 minus 4. What is 11 minus 4?
7.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes. 7. So it's 7 and 7 over 12. Alright. This one is straightforward. 6 and 5 is what?
6 and 5 is 11.
Yes, sir. 11.
Oh, look at you copying my talks. Oh!
That's not your talks. I mean,
Yes, I always say yes, sir.
not your talks. That's in the, what do you call it? That's in the loop.
It's in the loop.
Yeah. Tell you. 2 over 3 is 4 over 9. The best one to use is 9. So
Yeah, it's 9.
yeah. What times 3 gives me 9?
3,
3.
6,
Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top.
6 over 9.
1. 1. So we are left with 3 times 3 is
9.
and 3 times 2 is
6. 6.
plus
4 over
1 is 9.
10 over 9.
4 times 1 is 4. It's going to be equal to
10 over 9. Yes, sir.
I know we know we have to do a 10 over 9, right? We have to
Yes,
change
sir.
it into a mixed number.
Yeah, mixed fraction. Wait, Mr. BT, if I say mixed fraction, it's okay, right? Oh.
Yeah, mixed number, mixed fraction. Same thing.
I feel like I sound stupid when I say mixed fraction and you say mixed number.
It doesn't matter. They use them interchangeably. 9 times 1 is 9. And then it's going to be
1 over 10.
So
I mean 1 over 9, my fault.
So 1 and 1 over 9. Good. And so we're going to take this 1 over 9 and
add them up.
It's going to be added to the 6 and the 5. We already have 11.
Yes, sir.
But when you add this one, it's going to be
12.
And then when you detach the 1 over 9, you get 1 over 9. So 12 and 1 over 9 is our answer.
Where did 12 come from?
The 12 comes from, remember, we had 1 and 1 over 9. The 6 and the 5 is already 11. So when we add the 11 and this 1, that's where we get the 12. And then the 1 over 9 stays. Alright, so that's that. Have we reached the 80 yet? Okay, good. Perfect. 2 badges. Almost there. Alright. Okay. Well, now we do this one because we don't have no whole number, so I wonder if they just consider fraction parts. Let's see. So
I think we leave. You just put the 7 back.
Yeah, I think so too. It's only one way to find out. 12, right? Lowest common multiple. 3 times 4 is 12. 1 times 4 is 12. 4 times 3. 1 times 3. And so 4 times 3 is definitely 12. 1 times 4 is definitely 4 minus 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 3 is 1. And so we are left with 4 minus 1, which is 3. So this is 3 over 12. Because 4 minus 1 is 3, and 12 at the bottom, we keep them. And so 3 over 12, we know that to be 1 over 4, because 3 goes in itself 3 times, and 12 goes in, and 3 goes into 12 4 times. So we have 1 over 4 as our fractional part. And then we're just going to keep the 7. So it's going to be 7, because this is like 0 here. So 7 minus 0 is still 7. So we have 7 and 1 over 4 as our answer, I believe. Let's see. 7 and 1 over 4.
You took a screenshot of that?
What okay, so I put 7 and 1 over 4. So they say no. So I guess we have to use a different way. Alright. Alright. Yeah, we did it. 7 and 1 over 12? How does 1 over 12?
That's what I have. That's why I'm trying to figure out what you do.
1 over 12. Yeah, 1 over 12. Okay. I don't know if I took a
3 ones and wait, hold on.
How do you get 7 1 over 12? Okay. Oh.
4 wait, hold on. 3 ones at 3, and then 4 minus 3 is 1.
Yeah. That's true. Man.
That's why I asked you have a screenshot because I didn't get that answer.
Into 85, you get 84, and then you have 1 as your remainder. So you put 1 over 12.
No, really, what happens is 1 over 4, that's supposed to be 3 over 12. I didn't change it. Mercy, I just kept it.
I did it differently, so I got a different answer. That's why I thought.
Oh, you did it change it into a mixed number, I mean the proper fraction.
Yeah, and then I got 7 1 over. I thought it was wrong when you know.
Me too, that's why
I didn't bother
Back to 7.
to answer it.
You almost got a straight run.
Anyway, I should have seen before you press submit.
I know, right? Silly mistakes. I was wondering why we didn't make no mistake yet, because that is not usual. That's nice. No,
this is sad.
Even the best of us is making mistakes. 4, we can easily write 4 as 3 and 2 over 2. That's an easy way to do it. And so what happens is we have 2 over 2 plus 1 over 2.
Mr. Petit, wouldn't you just add 4 plus 1?
Well, and then 5 over 5 and 1 over 2, 8.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, let's try that. 5 and 1 over 2. I don't see why it should be wrong. Good. Yeah,
yes.
That's a perfect way to do it. Okay, so let's do this one. I guess the same thing applies, right? 10 and 7. 7 and 7 over 8. Do you agree?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yeah, well,
all right, good.
yes.
Finally got the original spot. Okay, good. So it's gonna be what?
7. 1.
Good. All right. Not bad. And then the same thing. 6 minus 1 is 5. And then 1 over 2 stays
the same.
Oh, I write 4. That's supposed to be 5.
Mr. Petit.
Hold on.
I got 5 in my book, right? I was like, why is mom putting 4?
Oh,
I was like, what I do wrong?
It brings us back to 77. That's what I want. This I didn't want. Sorry. Okay, I can try for you. All right, let's go. This is not good. Okay, so
not so good.
this 3 over.
You so close to finishing.
I know he's so close, right? 2 over 3. Okay, so this is gonna be. Let's use 11. So times 3 times 3. Oh my, we have to borrow to do this one, because then if we use 11, that continues. So we have to borrow. So it's gonna be 3 and 3 and 3 over 11 equals to 2 and 3 and 11 over 11 plus 3 over 11. It's going to be equal to 2 and 11 plus 3 is what? 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 over 11. And so we have 2 and 14 over 11. Good. So we could use the 14 over 11. So let's move that. All of that. So 14 over 11 plus 2 over 3. The lowest multiple is 33. We got 33. This is going to be multiplied by 1. This is multiplied by 1, so it's 14. This is multiplied by 11. This is multiplied by 11. You don't even have to do that, because anyway, it doesn't.
Wait, what just happened just now?
We still good. 2 times 11 is what? 22. It's gonna be over 33. What is 14 plus 22?
You say 14 plus 22?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's 36. That's quick math.
4
Wait.
plus 2 is 6. 36. Good. So this is 36 over 33.
Pardon?
You divide it.
Yeah, you divided it. I didn't figure it out. I just trying to check over, make sure I'm not silly mistakes. Alright, so now we divide it, so it's 33 into 36. That only goes in once. And when we subtract, we get 3. So this is going to be equal to 1 and what? 3 over 33. And so we can take this 1 and 3 over 3 over 33, and add it to 2. Yeah, add it to 2. So we have 2 plus this 1, okay,
Which is 3.
which is 3. And then we are left with 3 and 33. 3 over 33. But we could simplify that, right? Because 3 over 33 is 1 over 11. So we are left with 3 and 1 over 11. So
What's with the... Oh. I wasn't finished.
oh, you was writing that down? Sorry.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Right. Let's hope it's right. 3 1 over 11. The correct answer is 3 and 31 over 33. Right, me and Ken. Something we did wrong. Or they bring us all the way down. Alright. It's 7:01, so I want to take my Bgcse people time. So we'll come back to this. Hopefully we can keep it at the same score and then redeem ourselves tomorrow. Okay, so what I want to do but I think that was good practice with these stuff. And hopefully you get a better intuition of how to do those sort of things. I just really wanted us to crunch some numbers today, just do it by hand to see how it goes. And so I'm glad that we was able to go over that. But tomorrow we're gonna finish this up and bring it all the way up to 100. But now it's time for the Bgcse hour. I want us to go over bearings today. Like just whatever questions I see on the Bgcse that involves bearing, just do it. And so okay, and start from say 2008. So we're looking for any bearings questions, particularly in paper 3. If we find any in paper 3, that's what I'm really looking for. And then if we find one in paper, then we can go over the paper 2's ones and then so on. Okay, perfect. There we go. Bearings question right off the right there, off the cuff. So let's look at this. All right. Okay, so if we look at these bearings questions, first of all, it's long. This thing is long. I can't put all the parts of this question on at one time. But altogether, it's what? 8. 4 and 4 is 8. 9. 13 points. Wow. Wow. Summary for bearings. So you gotta know how to do bearings. So let's see what happens now. Let's go. So a mailboat service makes regular excursions from home, port P, to port R, to port S, and back to port P.
What year is this?
2008, paper 3.
Paper 3?
One moment, please. All right, so this is a mailboat, and when they say excursions, they mean basically going to and fro. All right, and so like you're traveling, and so or trips you could use that synonym. So it makes regular excursions from the home port P. So port P right there is the home, right? That's the base, you would say. And so the boat is gonna travel from port P to port R, then to port S, and then you go back to P, which means that it's going back home. Now they're saying port R is 200 kilometers from port P, right? This one is 200 kilometers from port P, right? And port R is, yeah, we already said that. Port R is 200 kilometers from port P on a bearing of 102 degrees. And so what that means, if we look at this angle right now, that's 102 degrees. All right, so port R from port P is a bearing of 102 degrees. Okay, remember we always draw our north, and we always start clockwise. Now we could say that the bearing of port S from port P is what? How much degrees? The bearing of port S from port P is how much degrees? Hello? Anyone?
Is it 240? 245 km?
No.
102 degrees.
No, again, okay, let's do it again. The bearing of
You say from where?
the bearing of port S from port P.
Would be minus 240 from 360?
No. Okay,
What?
first let's identify this bearing. Remember we said the bearing of what? S
Port S.
from what?
P.
From P. Good. So remember we always draw our north. And then we'd start at the north all the way until we reach to S. And so how much degrees is that? How much degrees is that?
Could you ask?
How much degrees is that?
135 degrees.
135 degrees. Thank you, Miss Rackling. Always the voice of reason in this class.
Really?
So yeah, because look,
Mr. Petit.
we start at P. Can I say the bearing of S from P? And so that's this angle right now. That's this. That's the first part of understanding bearings. You have to understand how they say it. Okay? So let me try it again. What is the bearing of port R from port P?
102?
Port R from port P is what?
102?
102. Very good, because we want to know the bearing of port R from P. So we start at P, we draw our north. Okay? Then we go from this north and we go clockwise until we reach the side of R, this side right now, and that's 102 degrees. Okay?
How though?
What do you mean how?
And that's slightly over 102
I mean it's slightly over 102.
degrees.
That's my stuff, or that's his work?
Someone have a double thing going on.
I thought that was a full for a second.
That's Floyd stuff. I thought that was my laptop going stupid already.
No, of course not.
I thought that was my TV just now.
Yeah, my TV.
Okay, so no, I know that's not that funny. It's just I just muted them for the sake of the noise. Go ahead, Cooper. That anyway, I don't know.
It is.
Go ahead, Mr. Bethel.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you much better.
All right. No, I was saying if the 102 was inclusive.
No. No.
Mr. Bethel, there's static, continual static every time we talk. I don't know if you have two devices plugged in or what. Oh, some alcohol. What kind of alcohol? You mean, I hope you mean sanitizing alcohol. Oh yeah, I was cleaning that. Okay. All right. Yeah. But I can't hear you. I mean, every time you talk, then the static comes. Try it again. Let's see if it works this time.
Yeah.
No, alcohol.
All right. Anyway. Okay, so calculate the bearing of port P from port R. So what I want someone to tell me how I'm going to draw this bearing. The bearing of port P from port R. What's the first thing I'm going to do in drawing this? The bearing of port P from port R.
Well, what you going like straight down? I mean straight.
Go ahead.
I asked if like you going like you cutting through the triangle thingy.
Okay, first of all, what point I must start at?
Point. Point of what?
Port R.
Port R.
Port R.
Good, because they say what? From.
Port R, and then you go all the way around.
So I first start at port R. I draw in my what?
You know.
My north.
Yeah, your point.
My north. Okay.
And then you go away.
You say your
Then you
what?
go
My
around.
north. I always draw north.
Oh yeah.
Okay, drawing your north.
Then you go round, right?
Which way? Clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Clockwise.
Very good. So we draw our north and then we go clockwise. And then we
Until you
stop.
get round.
And we stop at P. It's gonna be you want this angle. That's the angle that we're looking for.
Oh.
And I could extend this a little more just to get some thing. We really want this angle, right? So this big angle right out. Okay. How are we gonna get that?
With you,
It's only 1 point.
that's a strange thing, man.
Minus it from 360.
How should minus it from 360?
Would you, because if we go in from, can you?
It's only for 1 point. That's strange. It's only for 1 point, so it shouldn't be that deep.
Would be minus 360 from 105? I mean, 102?
Why?
Pardon me?
Why?
Why? Because I'm thinking about a circle. That's what I'm thinking about. And then on top of it, it says from part R is 200 km. So I'm thinking about going round.
Must have they confused on this topic.
You confused?
Yeah.
So I think that's something I'm thinking if you minus, that's what I do. I just think that's what I do. I'll minus 102.
Remember, we want this reflex angle.
Okay.
The angle starts here and goes here.
Yeah, so that's what I'll do. Now I don't know if it's right, but that's what I'll do.
Well, we know this is 180. You know that for sure. That's 180 right there, because this is a straight line, right? That's the most we know. You know, we could somehow figure what this angle is for sure, right? We know what this angle is. We know what that is. We could figure that out because we have these. We could even figure what's the angle inside. The only problem I'm having is that this is not. This is it's really interesting angle because I'm like, okay, we start here on our north, we go all the way around as we should. Problem that I'm having is what is this angle in the middle there? This one. Because I know this is 180, sure, no doubt. But how are we gonna account for this angle right there? Like, what is that? You understand what I'm saying? Like, what is this? What is this part? What is that doing? We know this is 180 because that's a straight angle right there. But what is this doing?
Miss Petite, isn't the top part 102, like right where you have?
Well, this is 102. What do you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so wouldn't, if one side is 180, wouldn't the other side be 180 as well? So wouldn't you minus what that side is from 180 and then add that to the 180 on the opposite side?
Well, Nancy, you are making a good point, you know. My goodness. But it's only for one point, though, right? I'm like, why would they cast shooters? But you do raise a good point. I never even looked at it like that. But look, this is an angle, right? This is an angle, okay? And this is an angle here. And so we have essentially several things going on. We have this one, which we can call A. We have this one, which we can call B. We have this one, which we can call C. And A, B, C together must equal to 180 because if we look carefully, what essentially has happened is that's our straight line. We have an angle, and this is a common point. And we have one angle moving this way from that common point. Another angle moving this way from that common point. And so, yeah, if this is A, I never saw that answer. Thank you. I didn't see that this is B, and this middle one must be C.
Go now.
Wow, first compliment of the year, Miss Cooper. Compliment of the year to Nancy.
I
Anyway,
didn't get a thank you, but okay.
A, B, and C. Okay, all right. So, okay. All right, so once we get that, but then we still have a problem though. Even if we know what this is that enough?
My question is, okay, if okay, you see where we have 102 and then 135. 135 goes all the way around, right?
135.
Can we um can we find out what the tip of B is? But it shouldn't be that difficult for 1 point. That's why I just was suggesting if we use 102, because I think, I don't know, I just feel like that's what I do. I don't know.
102.
Because it's
What is 102?
I don't. Okay, it's 135 sounds, because we looking for R, so I figured 135 would be it passing R, so I didn't
No,
use.
we ain't looking for R. We looking for. They say they want the bearing, right? From port
Mm-hmm.
R. So we be looking for.
Really looking for P.
No, we're looking for the angle, right? Sorry, we're looking for the angle that that wow, that's beautiful. Looking for the angle that starts here. Now, if they did say from of R to P, then we're looking at this angle, say this, right? But they didn't ask us from R. I mean, of R from P. They asked us of they want the angle, the bearing of P from R, and so that means that we are looking at this one from R, and we going all the way to P, like so. All right, and so
So you're trying to say it's
this
going to be like a big number?
it's a reflex angle, we know that for sure. It's greater than 180 for sure.
Yeah, it
If
is.
we go, like I showed before, if we go here We already know that this part is 180. The only part that I'm struggling to find is this same part. Like, how can we find out what that is? I don't know.
Isn't that a triangle though? Like, so would the corner of R be 90? And then if we minus 135 from 102, wouldn't we get that?
No. Okay, what angle in the triangle is this? The same angle in what angle in the triangle is this? We don't know.
No, I mean this right here, the one with the okay, I think in both. Okay, remember when we have a right angle? I thinking about the corner of R.
This,
Can that be 90?
but they didn't tell us it's 90. And even if we could find out what this is, we can find out what this is. How would it help us? I don't see how it would help us because
then we'll know what P is, and then we'll just know what that corner would be, and that still wouldn't help us.
no, because this angle here, we'll be looking for, let's call it A, right?
But then if we know the inside, would we minus it from the outside because it's a circle? Or that wouldn't make sense.
Well, let's see a point. I see what you're trying to say. So it's a circle, and so we have that.
Where's Kennedy?
Kennedy. They know right where's Kennedy either. I don't know where Kennedy is, but she will be trying to join in.
So that wouldn't make sense, or that'd be too much.
No, that wouldn't work. Because when we're trying to find m plus 8, it's gonna give us our bearing. Like this, we already know m is 180 for sure. A, the same part right here. I can't tell you how to get that. I know how to get that one. I don't know how to get the 8. Think of it as a circle. Because if we start at R, we have to come back to this question. I don't want to spend all night looking at it. It's a good question though. It's a good one. Let's not do 2008. Let's start with 2009. That's interesting. Okay,
so you only find out a way?
No, I found it. We just skipped it for now, and then
one.
Tomorrow look at it. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now much better.
Sure, you can hear me?
We finish on this. Time, distance, and speed, please.
You want to look at speed, distance, and time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sure. No problem. We'll look at that. Speed, distance, and time. So we have percentage to do tomorrow, and speed, distance, and time.
Yeah, that too. I just remember.
Are all the Bgcse in June?
Well, certainly maths is in June. I don't know for all of them.
Everything in June.
Everything in June?
Our exams start on June 9th and June 10th. Wait, what? No, and June 15th.
So we'll be long gone, Mr. Petit.
I don't know about long gone though. Not long gone. Because your last exam in June too.
The early part of June though.
I mean, June what, 7th? So you all leave the following week? I mean, you all go the first week, they go the second week.
Our exams on the 9th, 10th, 13th, and 15th.
Yeah. That's so the first week is the 7th, and then what I mean is you all leave on the 7th, and so they'll leave on the following week. And so ain't that bad.
Not even that far.
Alright, so let's see. The diagram shows the location of airports P, Q, and R. Airport Q is 130 kilometers from airport P on a bearing of 115. Airport R is 75 kilometers from airport Q on a bearing of 225 degrees. Calculate angle P Q, and R. So okay, they just want us to figure out what this guy is, right? So we need to figure out what this one is. Q, angle Q. Okay.
That isn't that just 360 minus 225?
Very good. 360 minus 225. Okay. The reason why I paused it is because I was trying to find some resemblance between this and what we have.
Oh, internet job.
No, I just was trying to find any resemblance between this one and the last one.
Okay, what would be the reason? Because
Because
it
angles
makes
are.
sense.
You mean this? You mean why it's 360 minus 225?
Yeah, because like it's a circle, right?
Yeah, because it's
Because the last one was confusing me.
This one can't be 360 minus 225 now because
That's what I'm
they
asking
want
you.
Q. So Q is this one. If we need to find what this guy is first. You see what I'm saying? But no, look at this.
So that's what I'm asking you before
This
you run with the answer.
180 minus 150. That would be better because if we look at it right, this line is parallel to this line. We have a transversal going through it, isn't it? And so we know that this one is 115. And so what must this one be? This one is QL. What must that be? If we have
So that's 180 minus 115.
two lines like so, this one going like that. We want to know what is this. With this, they are co-interior angles, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
116 and co-interior angles are add up to 180. So, and you see they form a sequence. So 115 and Q must add up to 180. So it's gonna be, and I could look carefully at co-interior angles. That's why with bearings, every geometrical property you must remember. So this one is what we have. It's on the inside, it's on the inside. And we said that co-interior angles add up to 180. So this one is what we have. We have I and J, they add up to 180. H and G add up to 180. So co-interior angles must add up to 180. And like they say, they shape like a C. Right? So we have a transversal, two parallel lines. The ones on the inside are co-interior angles. And so we have the same thing going on. Yeah. Transversal, two angles. And so it's going to be 180 minus 115. It's going to be equal to what?
65 degrees.
65?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Let me confirm.
And then that's when we add it, and then that's when we get A then.
So but we don't know what A is yet. We just know what Q is. Okay.
All right. It's so complicated now.
I guess it.
Now 65 plus 225 plus A should be equal to 180. You know what I'm saying?
360?
I mean 360, thank you.
So 225 also the angle under A.
Say it again. Yeah,
There's 225 the angle under A.
This whole thing is 225. So reflex angle.
So even if a line going through it.
Yeah, even if a line going through it, yeah, because I mean obviously the line, I mean think about it, Mr. Becker. From here to here can't be 225, that's 180. Like literally from here to here, it's a straight angle. So that can't just be 225. It have to be the whole thing is 225, including this part. So 225 is all this. 65 is this one, and A is we don't know what A is. Any questions on this before I move from this? By the way,
This petite was true. The whole class confused, but
that's not true.
I'ma just know. I'ma speak for myself because last time I speak to everyone, it was like speak for myself. So even though I answered the question, I'm confused.
You're confused. Okay. Do you understand?
I'm lost.
You understand?
So A would be 70 degrees then.
I don't know if it's
Yeah, but we ain't looking for that. We're looking for Q.
Q is 65 degrees, right?
Yeah, Q is 65. Okay, let me explain that again. Explain it step by step.
Sure.
Right? What shape do we see?
Please, come on, man.
It's a three-sided shape. What do we call it?
No, Mr. T, not that slow, not that.
All right, so look at this. Look at 115 and look at Q, right? Q is this angle L, right? Remember, if we have two parallel lines, right, and a transversal cutting through them, right, the angles on the inside are going to be equal to 180 degrees. And so here we have the same thing. This is 115, and this is Q, right? They're on the inside, and so they must equal to 180, right? So these two angles, this one and that one, must add up to 180. And so if we want to find what Q is, all we have to do is do 180 minus 115, and that'll give us 65. All right. Any questions on that? I know we got 65.
I understand that part.
Okay, you understand that part. Okay. Now we know that if we have a circle or full revolution, so we start at one point and we go a full turn around. Right? A complete turn equals to how much degrees?
360.
360.
Good. And so the idea here is the same thing, right? So if you look at this starting from north all the way here, if we go halfway, right? Because this is a semicircle, if you agree. This part, this green part is a semicircle. You agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's 180. Right? That's why I say this is 180 degrees. Right? This is half of a circle, right? It's half of a full revolution. Right? But then if we go some more, they're telling us that if we include this part, that would be 225. Right? So this thing from more than half is 225 right there. Now if we include, right? If we include Q, right? Right there. If we include Q, and if we include this other angle here, right? That would make it a full circle, and then we'd have 360 degrees. So all of this full revolution, so that's to be 360. So Q plus 225 plus this unknown angle must add up to 360. That's all I was trying to say.
So what about the outside? The outside doesn't, the opposite side of Q, that isn't an angle?
Side of Q. Okay, so opposite side of Q. What do you mean?
where 75 is.
75. This is the line, right? This is referring to a line. What you mean this?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So this one, we know what this one is. This one is gonna be 180 minus 225. Because we know this one is 180 because this is half of a circle. Right? Right there is half of a circle. But we know that an half of a circle is 180.
No, my thing, isn't that an angle? Because you didn't put an arrow to it.
It is an angle, but I included it with the 225s. That's the all of the grain is 225s. So essentially what we have here is we have 180 plus, what is 225 minus 180?
45.
I agree.
45. So this one is 180. This one is 45. This one is 65. And this one is going to be 180 minus not 180, 360 minus 65 plus 180 plus 45, which is what?
70.
70, yes.
This is what I got 70 from the beginning when you was talking about they should all add up.
Yeah, so this one is 70, right? This one is 65. This one in blue that I'm reading now is 100.
Me too, Miss Cooper. Me too. He say no though.
Of course I said no, because that's not Q. Q is 65.
No, I say A. So it's A 70 then.
Oh, but I didn't calculate it, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know if I'm right. What you think I said? Robot? I wouldn't know.
You should at least say it sound right or it could be right or something.
I just dismiss it, I guess. Maybe because I don't know why I dismiss it, but we have
I know why.
70, 65, 180, and 45. And so all of them together add up to 360. Okay, and so
So we could do that with the next n too then.
any n. So all that's n, all of them is 360. All of them is 360. They should add up. Okay, so hopefully that makes some sense.
Wait, so all of that, we didn't work out B?
We didn't know what B is. We didn't do B. We just explaining that. B says give the distance from airport R to airport P, giving your answer to the nearest whole number. This one is straightforward. So they want the distance of from airport R to airport P, giving an answer to the nearest whole number. What distance they want?
They went from P to R?
Distance?
They want P to R. Right? Okay, so they want the distance right now from airport R to airport P, and they want us to give the answer as a whole number. Now, every time you see bearings like this, and it's paper 3, think cosine rule.
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't say that.
Think cosine.
I think you're right.
Think cosine rule. So far we already know that this is what? We know that this is 65.
So all this because we have the volume is inside then.
Yeah. We know that this is 70. Alright. And so let's apply cosine rule. So with cosine rule, the missing side we always call A. Alright, and so therefore the missing corresponding angle will be capital A. Always remember that. That is very important when you do cosine rule. The missing side we always call A, and therefore the corresponding side would be capital A. And so cosine rule tells us, now you also know cosine rule with your head.
I don't know it.
Mercy. Let's see.
That's really, I just get my calculator.
Is it that? Is it the a squared plus?
Equals, let's go. B
Uh,
squared
Equals, oh, jeez.
plus what?
C squared.
C squared minus 2 BC cos of A.
No, sir. I'm not that bad.
It may be wrong, so let me check the
What that thing is at the
I
end?
thought it was a squared over b and b squared over. I mean,
that one is the angle. That one is for the angle. This one is for the missing side. So they
Ooh.
give us the cosine rule in the question paper anyway, so that's good. So there it is.
where is it?
Gotta look right there.
It's so blurry though.
Okay, good. So there we go. So a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos of A. Okay, we did say it right. Good. All right, so let's figure out what A, B, and C is from the question. So we already know what A is. A is the side that we do not know. That's the missing one. Okay, so that's this guy. We don't know what that side that is, so we call it A. Capital A is the angle that corresponds with the missing side. So that's going to be what?
70 degrees.
70.
70. The angle that corresponds with the missing side is 70 degrees. So
How
capital
you
A.
get 70 again?
Well, we got 70, remember, because well, we add them all up and subtract it from 360. So 360 minus 65 plus 225 is going to give us 70. We got that because we know that all of this is 225. We know that all of this is 65. And so to figure what this missing one is, we need to subtract it from 360. You understand that, Mr. Wan? I need to explain that again.
Okay, I see it.
Okay. All right, so capital A is 70. Now, once you already get A in capital A, B and C doesn't matter. Like, so we can call this one B and this one C, or we can call this one C and this one B. Those don't matter. But A must be the missing side. Capital A must be the angle that corresponds with the missing side. After that, B and C don't matter. So
So is it a coincidence they want us to find that missing side first?
this one,
You know, the missing angle.
yeah, that's why. And so it's gonna be B is equal to 130. I got B equal to 130, and I got C equal to 75. And so B is 130. That's by choice, okay? So, you know, once again, we can play around with that. 130 and C is, it doesn't affect the answer at all. 75. And so let's go. So we ready? So it's gonna be A squared.
So you only go in one capital then in there.
Only one capital, yeah. B squared is 130 squared plus C squared is 75 squared minus 2 BC. So BC is going to be 130 times 75 multiplied by cosine of the given angle A, which is cosine of 7. Good. And so A squared is going to be equal to, let's do this side first. I'll do this side first. So 130 squared plus 7. So we have 130 squared plus what? 75 squared. That equals to 22,525. 22,525. So that's 22,525. Any questions on how we got that? Hello?
So if you're doing it in your calculator, you can put them in brackets like you have it.
Yeah. And then it's going to be minus 2 times 130 times 75. That's how I would do it. I wouldn't bother with cos here. 2 times 130 multiplied by 75, we get 19,500. 19,500. Cos of 70, so it's going to be cosine of 70. So we still write that down. Good, and so we have, what we have now, we have a squared equals 2. Now we do 22,525 minus 19,500 cos of 70 to get one solid answer. Make sure our calculator is on degrees, not radians. And so we have 2,525 minus 19,500 cosine of 70. So we have 15,855 .6072051. And then at this point, to solve for A, we must do what? Take the...
So, Mr. Petit, how you know if your calculator in the right mode for when you're getting this answer?
Always do sine of 90 first. So sine of 90 should give you 1. If that doesn't give you 1, then you're wrong. Mode.
Okay, but mine stop at 2 and put 1 behind it. Didn't give me the 051.
That's fine.
It say 721.
That's fine. That's okay because, you know, this calculator thing on. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so good. So we take the square root of both sides. Right?
Are you supposed to put it to the nearest whole number first?
No, please don't do that, please.
And that's what the question said.
We have to calculate it first. Then, at last, then we round. You don't round in the question. Okay? So A is going to be equal to, so we cancel that. A is going to be equal to the square root of this big number the square root of one moment. My data's gone, so I'm gonna fill up again.
That's the whole number?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello?
Where Mr. T joined, tell him. Oh, never mind. Mr. T,
Yes, mom?
I can be excused.
Yeah. For 30 seconds,
Yeah.
no problem. Alright, so we want to do the square root of this number, right? Right? That's what we're trying to figure out, right? That's where we left off.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. What do y'all get? The square root of this number.
Rounded or not rounded?
Don't round it yet.
I get 125,919,0502.
Okay, good. Second that.
Well, this might be a bubble calculator, so
Anyone want a second?
I get 125.919.
Okay. Alright. So that sounds right, Mr. Pepper. 125,919,05. Okay, so good. So we have 125.91905, and so A equals to 126, right? To the nearest what?
whole number.
That's all number. So you always round at the end. Don't round in the intermediate steps. Okay? Any questions on this? By the way.
Miss Fuzzy, could you recommend some videos?
Nah, see, I used to get these hard stuff, but with the easy stuff come, you speak.
I know, right? One thing with Nancy. It always be a curve, and then once you get it, you get it.
Listen to me. I'm a pull an all-nighter, and tomorrow I'm gonna beat you at this in my sleep vessel.
All right, I believe it.
Really and truly, this is just an application of cosine rule. If you understand cosine rule, then you get it. So I'd suggest that you say go on. If you want, practice if you want. Just go on. Let's see, cosine rule. Just let's see, and make sure it's cosine rule. Okay, so this is a good one to use this formula. So you could do this one, this particular video, but do it before he do it. All right.
Right.
And
So
try.
why do you skip the GCS maths tutor?
This one, I see you do this trigonometry. So let me see if he
No, I just asking because
Yeah, this is good. He uses yes, good stuff. This is good stuff. This is a very good video. Yeah, looks like he gets lots of. The only thing is that the reason why I skipped is because it also includes thingum too. Trig. So it's a combination. That's why I didn't really because you want practice with cosine rule. None of the other ones are not important. It's just that you want cosine rule. So focus on that for the most part. Yeah. It has a good interface. I like it. So yeah, he does a good job. The only problem is that he includes too much in it. That's why I skipped his too. Covered maths, he have a straightforward video just on cosine rule, so that's good. Matt Genie, I think she has one. Yeah, just on cosine rule, good one. So practice cosine rule and you'll be good for this. Because cosine rule, if this come on paper 3, more than likely they can use cosine rule, no doubt. And so if you need to know how to use that. But this is not the first time we did cosine rule. We saw this in the 2018 paper as well. The exact concept. So, well, I don't know. I don't know what time did us tonight. It's already 8 o'clock. I don't understand that, honestly. Oh, what I wanted to show. I remember Mr. Bethel hinted at this, but there's a difference between trapezium and trapezoid. Okay, so trapezium has no parallel lines, but trapezoid has exactly one pair of parallel lines. And so just bear that in mind. Make sure you're using the right one. Okay, and so for the different thing that they give you, they like to bring this in Bgcse stuff. If it has parallel lines, it's a trapezoid. No parallel lines, then trapezium. So, make sure you know that. All right, so yeah, it's 8 o'clock, and I say let's begin in English. Now, when is paper 1 English for y'all? Hello? When is paper 1? Oh my, I'm sorry.
I've been looking at that channel to know what you.
Oh, you didn't believe it was on mute. I don't know. It was on thingum. I don't know how that. Sorry, that's why I was in a.
Dude, you missed 15 questions.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I could take a picture of the last 3 slides. I mean, from 668 to.
Okay, no problem. I can have your chance.
tonight, baby. Tonight, that's it, right, for the night?
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, as in, no more, so we could go.
No, we have English.
I got my headache after that maths question. You lost me.
How I lost you? Cosine rule.
Go.
Wow, Nancy.
You could go again.
All we did was substitute. Be fine with
Let me breathe. Please.
I could get
all we did was substitute, put in the calculator, and that's it.
Nancy and the inspiration today.
The inspiration today.
I'm an inspiration always. Continue to do good. I will catch you up. I will surpass you. Then you have to catch me up. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I believe it. But that's the day me. Tomorrow me could be different on the next level.
Next level is
Don't worry. Tonight I'm going to pull on and I'm going to beat you at this. Jump it down. While you sleep and I will work.
Oh, what's the fatigue? Why you don't put them stuff no more?
quoting.
Yeah.
You're right, you know. I need them.
Mr. Petit,
Mm-hmm.
do you want me to pass biology?
I do.
Can you send me nothing yet? And it's on Friday. I am
Nancy.
3 days away.
Good luck.
Nancy, I don't understand. Okay. I told you I was gonna send it to you. When I told you I was gonna send it to you, Nancy.
I have no magical idea.
I told you that on Sunday. Last night was after 9. Then I had work today. Then I come back from work to class. When I could get time to send that until this evening after class.
But just say you want me to fail. Let's just admit
Why
to me
are you trying
that.
to do like
Just say that. Just let me go there with a put in the dream.
when I gonna send? When I gonna find time to do
Oh wow! All right,
I
this
can
is
send it. You can get it
Right.
for tomorrow. But,
okay.
yeah,
All right.
Please bear with me. I know y'all think I'm a robot. I might sound like
No. I can't trust you, old man. That's all my people trusting me, so I can't do that to you.
Just read the book, Nancy.
I swear, I get in there with a mindset just to pass. If I fail, I fail. That's me.
no man, you and Bio should be in good company.
You have no mindset to fail. Come on, man.
Oh Lord.
I wanted next name Bethel. I think Bethel. If I look on the paper, I think I might pass.
All right, so
Oh yeah. Even if you get a glimpse.
I love it. We on English. We doing continuous writing today. I want us to look over an essay today. I hope the person didn't put their name on it. Okay, good. So let's look at this essay. Anonymous. It's anonymous. So, unless you look at the video, you would see the name. The recording, I should say.
You mean from last week, right?
No, if you look at the recording from today, because I stopped screen sharing, but the recording catches all of my screens. So,
I thought you mean that person who asked you to read their stuff last.
All right, so you mean Kennedy? Kennedy asked me to see his stuff. So let's look over this essay. Hopefully we.
Oh no!
Oh, Kennedy is here. Okay, yeah, we can look at yours too.
Let's go, Kennedy.
Welcome to class, Kennedy.
Hi.
I gonna do this one first though. That's why I get the yours.
You made this assignment from 2 months ago. They still turning that in?
No. This is on a.
No, it's a different topic.
This person just did it on their own. They was being a good student, not waiting until I assign.
But you would never read and give me feedback, though.
That's not true.
Oh wow! Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which essay you wrote? I haven't given you feedback on.
Mrs. Petit, I could go up in our chat and pull up.
Which essay have you written that I haven't given you feedback?
I write many essays.
That's not true. Essays that all of them I give you feedback. Okay, so.
Anyway, today's a lovely day.
The sun is shining. For real though, I cannot recall the essay that you sent. It may not be immediate. I may do it in class.
It's fine. Today's a lovely day.
804. Okay. Okay, so let's walk through this. this essay. Now, remember everything that we've been learning so far, we have to put into play with this particular essay, especially the new stuff, right? So we learned about the three main parts of an argument, not parts of it, but three main components of being persuasive, which was ethos, pathos, and logos. And so we're gonna look for that in this essay as well. We're also going to be looking for Tolman's three components of an argument. So we're going to be looking at the claim, we're going to be looking at the support, and we're going to be looking at the warrants, right? All are a part of this essay. We're also going to be looking at how does this writer establish credibility, or what could they do more to establish credibility? Do they have reasons? So that's ethos. Do they logos? Under logos, we're looking at, okay, what's their reasons like, and how well thought about are their reasons? Is this the best reason that they possibly could give, or is this like the second best, or is this the worst reason that they could possibly give to this question? So that's logos. We're gonna be heavy on logos. Logos is a big deal. The major part of writing, I'd say, in my opinion, you need your logos to be on point. You need your reasons to be accurate and satisfying. And then we're gonna look at pathos. How does the author of this piece appeal to emotion, appeal to sympathy? Do they do it? How do they do it? Can they do it better? Stuff like that. All right, so this is a good question. It says some and oh. I already see what could be a big problem in this essay. I already see it. But let's look. Some children are rearing themselves. Write an essay explaining some of the reasons why and how this happens. Okay, write an essay explaining why, that's the first part, and how this happens. I think they kind of one and the same. If we tell you why it happens, we might just end up telling you how it happens too, right? I mean, it's not necessary, but because of the nature of the thing we're dealing with, if we tell you why, we could also tell you how as well. So they don't, I mean, unless you really want to, you don't have to really make a strong effort to distinguish them. I would if I was writing it, but they usually fall into the same thing, because if I telling you why, children are wearing themselves,
So they kind of proportional to each other.
they kind of, I mean, like, what I mean, like, is they're so close. Like, the nature of the things are so um
Intertwined.
yeah, they're so intertwined that in explaining one, you can't explain the other. So if I tell you why I fell, like I could kind of tell you how I fell too. If you understand what I mean? Like, but it's not necessary, but it could. Like, for example, you ask me, why did you fall? Right? And I say, well, I fall because this is why I fall, right? So I fall because the reason why I fell is because I got distracted, and my shoes was untied, and so I ended up falling. How I fell, it's kind of the same thing. Like, I fell because I tripped on my license, right? So they like, I'm
But
answering
isn't
one
that where you put your which one is Lagos?
logos.
Yeah.
Say logos.
Or was it Pathos?
What?
The one with of emotion.
Pathos is emotion.
Yeah, isn't that where you put the pathos? Like, I had a crumbling, crushing fall,
Okay.
break my knee, and
So how would be more descriptive if it's in your mind? So more the adverbs and stuff.
yeah.
Okay. Was it a hard fall? Was it okay? All right. I guess we could look at it like that. Anyway, let's see if we see all two of the parts of that why and how in this essay. That's important. Because they did say why and how. So why means the reason, how is the process, right? So I guess they want us to distinguish things there. But they are intertwined such that a person could do them at the same time and without even conscious effort. Because in explaining one, sometimes we explain the other. Anyway,
I think this is the best exam to be a marker for. Because you could get a lot of free jokes off these.
and I wouldn't say best, because sometimes the papers be so hard to mark. Because this is not like maths where okay, 2 points are allocated for this, and 3 points are allocated. Just follow the steps, boom, boom, boom. Okay, it's supposed to be 4, it wasn't 4, you got 3. Okay, you're wrong. This one is a lot subjective, so that's why I hate math and stuff like this. At any rate, let's go. So this person starts this essay with unfortunately. I don't know if I like that start, but hey, let's see what it says. Unfortunately, in a child's household is where the presence of leadership is established or missing. All right, we have a problem already, but let's continue reading. As a result, this can lead to youths being ignorant and undisciplined for others. Nevertheless, them being undisciplined, when a child is rearing itself, it can motivate them by being more mature than others, their age or older. This is being done because of 3 reasons. When children are faced with a situation, they have no one to help guide, the absence of the parents in their lives, and lastly, it teaches them on how to be responsible. Let's start off with the good. I want to start off with the bad.
Transitional word.
So let's start off with the good. She want to start off with the good. The person does use transitional words. Kind of annotate that there. So we do have, I'd say
Content.
Transitional word.
So good. I'd say they use transitional words appropriately, in my opinion. They appropriate use of, wrong? Appropriate use of transitional words. That's pretty good and obvious in this thing. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Like,
So an example would be like nevertheless.
Yeah, nevertheless, lastly, unfortunately,
Unfortunately,
those
as a result,
her content, like she.
You want to say use it as list?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Her content, like she, stuck to the point.
Stick to the point. Okay, so
Like,
you're getting deep into the essay. Let's just be a little bit more.
no, I mean, she.
Before we go deep into the actual logos of the thing, right? Let's just look at it from a structural standpoint and the basics first, and then we can go deep into them.
She indented.
No spelling errors.
Indentation is there.
No spelling errors.
Yeah.
No gross grammar errors, grammatical errors.
No gross grammatical.
A lot of grammatical errors. That's the main problem I have.
I said spelling errors, as in
punctuation.
Yeah, her spelling. She has proper spelling.
I think I have good pronunciation.
So what about spelling? I don't see. Let me zoom in. Hold on. She don't have no.
I'm saying she.
That's why I'm trying to figure out why she saying she.
I have to just let me say she. No, I ain't saying it's Kennedy. I say let me.
Okay.
We just classify it as a she.
Yeah. Okay. We could call the person she. Then.
Thank you. She has no spelling issues.
Yeah. Hi, Mr. Bobby.
Responsibly. Absence, children. I trying to figure why this person using capital letters for R.
That's what I would know.
But you didn't get to the bad yet.
That's true.
I think that's a habit because all of our R's is like that, but that's a habit they gotta come out of.
Okay, so no gross spelling errors for real.
Mr. Petit, what will happen if someone write the whole essay in capital letters?
Right. Well, you know, control error, right?
They're gonna screw the garbage.
No. I wouldn't get thrown in the garbage. You just get points off for that. But
Why?
grammatical error.
But I mean, if there's a cap on how much you will get off.
I think there's a cap. There's a cap on. I mean, come on, it's still only one error. You know, like.
I
Okay.
feel like if that's how it is, right then.
How much time do I never penalize them for that one error?
That'd be savage if they actually do though, like for the entire essay. They ain't get no points.
No, they ain't gonna do that. Yeah, no gross spelling errors. I honestly. I'd say the length of the introduction is good. Length is.
I thought it's too long.
Oh,
I think her how to say wording is alright, like as in not like the way she used to what sentences, but as in like maturity wise.
Never.
Punctuation.
Please.
You don't think it's okay? It isn't that bad.
No, I promise you. No.
They have all their commas and full stops and things.
They don't have all, but punctuation is not wrong.
But okay, as in like it isn't like poor then.
That's what I was saying. But,
I don't like the grammar of this thing, and I don't like the way it sounds.
I do.
Well, I can explain to you in short order.
I see the established.
That sound childish to you,
I don't like that part.
Okay, I can explain to you. Let's just finish the good stuff. So punctuation errors is not pronounced. So for the most part, except for several parts, so say for example, lastly doesn't have a comma there.
I don't even know.
Unfortunately, it's good. As a result, it's good. Nevertheless, should have a comma. This is being done. Yeah. No, punctuation errors is not pronounced. They pretty good. I don't think honestly no. Not much. Little, I should say. Excuse me. Very little. Let's look at. So I think the structure. Oh, what do you always say about their? Now let's look at the 3 prongs. What would we say about their? Ethos. So, do they establish credibility? Because the first thing you have to do, up front. Do they establish themselves as a good?
Not particularly.
Not really.
What did you ask?
Okay, do they establish credibility?
Credibility?
Yeah. What are ways we can establish credibility? We can what?
Lay a good foundation.
Yeah, by doing what? Well, first of all,
opening with opening like with an obvious statement or something that the reader wouldn't know.
Okay, so interesting. Opening with an interesting fact or some quote or
something that you think the reader would know.
Okay, or an interesting way, right? So, do you think they began in an interesting way?
Or appeal to authority?
No, because their opening statement isn't clear. As in, I'm reading it, but I'm still confused.
From the English word, unfortunately, I didn't like that.
No, it isn't that. It's just that they couldn't get it, but unfortunately, just that I think that after unfortunately they went downhill because she had me. Okay, unfortunately, now I'm expecting you to give me something negative about wearing like, okay, give me something. No, I didn't know. Like, unfortunately, okay, say wear something, then okay, oh should this happen? I mean, like, I was expecting something excited as a reader.
Something dramatic.
Yeah, like something crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, the only thing I give them for ethos is handwriting. Their handwriting isn't terrible. So looking at this handwriting, you say, okay, well, I'd at least expect something nice because it isn't unreadable and it isn't that bad. It's pretty good handwriting. It's a nice print. Um, just these R's, man.
You think it's a habit with the Mars?
Yeah, it'd have to be a hobby.
It
Because
is
I
a
just
habit.
feel looking at it. Like,
You,
I
and
just
then her
don't know.
S
Like,
too. Her S's is a habit as well.
The S,
Yeah.
capital S's, yeah.
I just
It's a
looking at it
habit.
like.
I had that habit too. That's why I'm saying it's a habit.
Yeah, that's a bad habit.
Yeah.
So ethos, the only thing we
That's
say
like a
is,
crutch.
yes, we can say handwriting is good. I can't say nothing more than that. Not exemplary, but good. Could be better though, but it's good. Let's look at their logos. This is where it really gets interesting, and so this is where we really gonna hammer them down, and see if we can, get something, right? Um, Logos. So some children are writing themselves. Write some of the reasons why this happens and why and how, right? So they make the case that this is happening because I love though, I ain't gonna lie. I love their thesis is clear. This is being done because of 3 reasons. Love it. You could clearly see that they answer that question directly. They have that in mind. That's very good for this person to do that. I really like that part, right? This particular part right here. Clear, very clear. This is being done because of 3 reasons, and they go ahead and state them reasons. Very good. An examiner sees this, they begin to clap their hands. Very good.
yes.
I like that. So this is being done because of 3 reasons. When children are faced with a situation, they have no one to help guide. So they don't have no one to guide them. That's the case they're making. That's why some children are raising themselves. Why are they raising themselves? Because the person is saying because they don't have no one to guide them. Then they say the absence of parents in their lives. But isn't that the same thing as no one to guide them?
Technically, yes.
It depends. Like depends on the paragraph they write. If they could tell a difference between.
No. If you say no one to
I
guide,
I think I could get where this person coming from because no one to guide them, as in no competent person, no individual.
but they say no one, so they should have said competent individual. Don't let. That's one thing.
It
Don't put.
depends. It depends
Don't
on how they
put.
separate it in the
No.
paragraph.
Don't put nothing in the
You gotta
paragraph.
be lenient.
Read what they say. They say no one to help guide. And
But
so
we gotta be
All right,
I
lenient.
have to
all
go
right.
with
So
what
we
they
can't
say.
put out.
We can't put.
So what to say? Okay.
No, they say no one to help guide. We're gonna say, and then you're gonna say the absence of parents. That's the same thing as saying no one. So if
Not
there's
really.
okay, there's no one in the
They
house.
reinforcing their thought.
Thank you.
That's redundant.
Help the person.
That's redundant. You need to do that. I want this. You want distinct points.
Yeah, true.
No, don't try to get up to that.
She
No,
could have
No one,
reworded it. The
no
person could
one
have
to be
reworded it.
that guide, such
no
as
one to be their
parents.
guides. Suggest that parents is included in that no one. All right.
I feel like I know this
All right.
person.
So let's go with that then. What else
So
they have?
they shouldn't say either they keep the absence of parents or they keep no one to be their guide. You can't have them both because they mean the same thing.
They should keep the absence of parents.
Yeah, I like that one because that's more specific, right? Lastly,
Yeah.
it teaches them how to be responsible. Oh my goodness. Oh.
They contradicting they said hold
They ain't
on.
contradicting themselves. They going off topic now.
No, hold on. No, they
Because
throw themselves off.
Because look, they're saying lastly, it teaches them on how to be responsible. Remember, the question ain't asking you the benefits of why children should rear themselves. They saying why do they rear themselves? Not what are the benefits of them rearing themselves.
When I read that, I was confused.
Wow. Oh my
This person then send themselves
Yeah,
in the.
So they got one good point.
They got one good point.
All right. So they need to pace themselves then.
Yeah, they need the.
Uh,
So yeah.
This person case, I feel as if as they go, they should continue to read the main topic. Like
Yeah, this person
as they write a paragraph, they should read their paragraph and then read and then come back. I feel as if that'll help them to really understand where they head at.
Yeah. So locals, the only thing we could say is they have one good point. Only one. Because I think when they say the absence of parents causes them to raise themselves, I like that. That's a good point. That's you could make a serious case with that. One good point on the absence.
But I think the guy, depending on how the person explained it, I'll still use it if they could tell me the difference between the parents and the guide. I'll call it a valid point.
Okay.
Depending on what they say in the paragraph. But it's just my personal opinion. I don't know. Who's the teacher, so I can't really say if I'm right or wrong.
No one to help guide. If they have no one to help guide, then
trying to say they parents ain't nobody.
Yeah, well, that could be another thought, right?
They have guardians, but they ain't nobody. They help
nobody. You. One good point on the absence of parents. That's the only thing I'll take. And so
which is prevalent.
Yeah, which is prevalent, and which is a good point. Pathos, do they hit on pathos?
They preluded to hit on it, but unfortunately,
I think they did, but it didn't pass. I like how they
motivate. I think motivate. Give me some sort of
thing. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, motivate. Undisciplined.
You can motivate them. Okay.
Undisciplined. So they give me.
What I like, this is a good one, right? It just feels strong. I like the language they use. They said no one to help
guide. That could be a sense of
right. You can feel the solitude inside that.
That just sounds deep, It sounds it really this author is really trying to let you be sympathetic to them, right? Because they say no one to help guide. I like that. So yeah, we got some
James is in your man.
I like that. No one.
So this person have hope. No, I feel like I know this person though because people write the way they speak.
Here we go again.
That's no, they ain't Cooper. Just saying.
Remember what is it? I didn't even say your name. You want to come to mind?
No, I just walking in. I hear you something speak, so I just say last one.
No.
Cooper too shy to be with your man.
No, this can't be Cooper.
I know it ain't Cooper. I read it. I said before.
Cooper, if you say anything wrong with Cooper, say she ain't your friend no more.
Oh, I was fighting.
No, but this is a level of maturity. You have to let someone criticize. You know what I mean? Not to get better. Yeah, you got to be strong enough to know that. Okay, it's for the better.
Well, Mr. Petit, you don't think this topic kind of hard to find 3 solid points on?
We could. Okay, let's do it. Okay, let's do it, right? So
yeah, I'd like to hear your points.
Okay, so we want why they are rearing themselves.
Why parents are unreliable or absent. That's
I think the reason why they are rearing themselves. Give me a moment.
Parents are not dependent, like as in some kids now they have to really do for themselves because their parents are not mature enough or not stable enough to take care of them.
So you're trying to say they too old fashioned, they can't keep up with the
No, I mean as in they don't know how to be parents. If you're young, you're inexperienced, so your child basically learning how to be the best, you know?
So they learn while they learn.
Basically, they teaching their parents how to be parents.
I think there's something we missing too. There's a big factor to this, right? That is not. I wouldn't say this is a major point. A major. They don't say this is uh a. I wouldn't say this is the first thing that comes to mind, but this is definitely a major point. We can say um
Abandonment could be one.
abandonment. I was thinking more of parents are often um busy with their jobs and are not at home. And so that's often the case, when and that could be for a variety of reasons. That could be because they are trying to um
Make a
because
lot
they
of
are
money.
trying to you know because they're trying to make ends meet. So that could be because of poverty, right? Or it could be because of covetousness, right? Um and so therefore, so if they're very poor, or if they trying to, or it might not just be poverty, it could be growth. Like some people, they have a period where they want to grow more, and that's not necessarily them being covetousness. They just need to become stable, and then it just requires them to put more hours than not. um Another reason could just be job demands, right? you know the nature of the job that they have just requires them to be like that. They don't have no say. um but yeah, the parents staying home, and because the parents have two jobs, or they may just have one, and even if they're home, um they are tired. Okay, so maybe you can say the parents are occupied
What about
with
if you have to work like to take care of your parents? What would that fall under?
of of, of work. All right, so that's why they wearing themselves. Remember, you got to stick to the question now. Why are children wearing themselves?
Because what if the parents are not
But they
like?
say children though.
But it would still be at a point where the child will have to, grow up themselves. Because if the parents are not reliable, okay,
So
in a
you're trying
sense,
to
whereas your
say,
parents don't work, and then you have to work for yourself at the same time,
mm, and that could be a
take
good
care of
point.
your parents.
That
So
could
I'm,
be a
I'm
good
saying
point.
that if you have to work and take care of your parents and
Hmm.
you would be making.
That's a good point you made. They are wearing themselves because they. Yeah, I like that.
Because I see many cases like that.
That's true. Um, I wouldn't make this the first point though, because this is not the most prevalent reason, I'd say, why children are wearing themselves. I think, to be honest, if I be very technical, I think it's mentality, like um the real reason, in my honest opinion, why I believe that this phenomenon is happening is because um parents don't understand the, or I should say not understand, because that's something else. Parents don't believe, that's the right word to use. Parents don't believe um that it's their duty to um nurture and rear up the child, right? I don't think that I don't use the word. Some people are ignorant to it. Oh, I don't really buy that though, but like that, I don't think that's the majority of people. I think that it has not entered into their consciousness, or at least their actions show that it has not entered into their consciousness that they actually have to, I guess, their duty, like they should um have their children um in primary focus, right? Like that's their responsibility. Like I don't think that parents who do this, I don't think they understand that their primary obligation is to ensure that in the rearing of the children that they are there, and so, and even if they are not there, have people to may fill in the gap. And so I think that um it have to be that parents don't believe that they are the primary stakeholders. I didn't say stakeholders because they do believe that they're stakeholders, because when you start making money, they should think it definitely say, yeah, that's my child. But I don't believe that they understand that. Not understand. I don't believe that they believe that they are responsible for rearing their children. That might sound simple, but it's just like true. Like, cause what do we mean by believe? Believe doesn't mean, technically speaking, believe don't mean I know. Believe means I act, right? And so, stated badly, they don't act as though they believe that they are responsible for rearing their children. And it all comes back to mentality, right? Like, um, and
So what you're saying is that they don't know how to be parents then.
not, I wouldn't say they don't know. I wouldn't say they don't know. I say I
But
would
they don't have like a general idea.
I wouldn't even say, I wouldn't claim it was not a good idea. Like, it's
Like a general idea, as in they don't know how to generally
no, I wouldn't say,
understand their role as a parent.
no, I wouldn't say they don't understand. I wouldn't make that claim.
They don't know the kids yet.
I'd say that they don't want to do.
But Mr.
Different.
Petit, would you argue that the child has that same mentality?
Or they're not ready to be parents or something?
Yeah, we can make that case.
They're not
Like the
ready?
child don't want the parents to rear them because they don't want to be like their parents. So they rear themselves, and because they
That's a
keeping up
strong
with
case.
technology.
That's a strong logos case. That's a very strong logos case, son. I like that. That is an intuitive one. That one is far reaching. I like that. That's good. I like that. But let's start with the, like, if we would say our strongest point, if we were to make a strongest point, because this ain't a strongest point. Well, is it? Parents occupied with the affairs of work. I think that's primarily the reason. I think that's the first reason. No, I don't think that's the first reason. I think the first reason is mentality, that they don't believe that they're responsible for their children. Because if they did, they would do it. And so I would say that the first reason is that they do not act as though, why they ask what, why children are rearing themselves. But children are rearing themselves because the parents do not act as though they believe that they are responsible for rearing their children. That would be my first point.
So see y'all and put the bad.
No, we ain't put the bad yet. We're still on with points. I would say. But if I'm an exam and I just want to be easy and cheap with it, I'd just say they're occupy with the affairs of work for sure. I'd say um teenage pregnancy plays a huge role. We can't run away from this question without mentioning that. Teenage pregnancy plays a whole role, because we have pregnancy. We have a lot of um so we could make the case that these um they are immature. So we have immature um children, should I say, rearing up or attempting to rear up their children, and that doesn't work out. because they are children, because they are immature, they seek immediate pleasure and what shriek from taking on responsibility. Raising up a child is a lot of work. You have to be persistent and
So
patient
if you're
and
saying
persistent.
this, which child you talking about? you, you, you get it?
I get it. But okay, you have immature, let's see. I hate to use word people, so immature people, right? Them then to rear up their children, and that doesn't work out because they seek immediate pleasure and they shriek from taking on responsibility. So, and that's a result of they had a child too young, right? And so,
I think this was hard for this person, honestly,
it isn't hard. These are easy stuff.
because they wouldn't randomly think about teenage pregnancy.
What do you mean you wouldn't randomly think about teenage pregnancy? Like, that's come on, man. That's the first thing.
Um, okay, I mean like as in like it's rocket science hard. I mean as in
That's the
they
first thing.
wouldn't think of this, Mr. Petit.
Wow, that
I know this.
So, but yeah, I wasn't gonna take that.
No,
what?
I don't think. No, see,
Like, cause
now
what I
we
like, what I
dissect. Why am
can
I naming that? Why am I NANC buying that? Hold on, what? That's how you spell it. Anyway, sorry. I wouldn't think no teenager in the exam would think of this then and
is
there.
that a sign?
I rebuke you.
All right, yeah. Teenage pregnancy immediately, man. That's one of the reasons for sure. Um, I think we underestimate that. I really do think that. But yeah, teenage pregnancy, so they're immature, and so they try to rear their children. And then remember, listen, man, rearing up children is a lot of work. You have to be persistent. You have
Okay,
to,
mental health.
yeah, mental health. Mental health. You mean mental health of the what?
Mr. Petit,
Go ahead.
the question
Of the
itself kind of ambiguous, because when they say random child, what exactly do they mean?
Okay, that is where if you have a confusion with that, because it's really straightforward. But if you have a confusion with that, then you have to provide a definition at the beginning and say, okay, this is what I mean by when I say rearing up children. And so you would probably say, okay, I mean they're physical, they're spiritual, and they're social. Making sure, excuse me, that when they leave the household, they are not, at least they are not going to be a burden to society. At least, right? Whatever they be, but at least they're not going to be a burden, right? That's the first, that's the one of the major duties of the home, to make sure that when the children come out, society, out in the world, they are at least not a burden to society. Now, that's at minimum, right? But there's other layers to that. You want to make sure that they not only are not a burden, but at least they are not only a burden, but that they actually add to, you know what I mean, the society, and actually function in a way that is productive, and that that makes a good impact, right? So you want that. You want them to be able to bear their own burdens, and you want to make them such that they are able to take on responsibility, right? Um, and the reason why you want them to be able to take on responsibility without complaining, right? Because the more people we have that are able to do that, man, the better we gonna be. And so yeah, but the problem is that these persons are immature, and so they don't even have a focus for their own life. So how they could rear up a next generation if they don't even understand their mission? So you understand what I mean? And so that is a big thing, right? Um, so it comes under a banner of them being immature. So sometimes it's immaturity, sometimes it's genuine preoccupation of work, honestly. And then sometimes,
Also,
say it again.
Mr. Petit,
hmm
when they say children, what age group they talking about?
Yeah, when they say children, again, if you find that vague, then you have to define it. Um, but children means children in a technical sense. Um,
So
if you want to
since
include,
it's technical,
go ahead.
children, like as in a parent's child,
Yeah, like a parent's child.
so
So
that could range from anywhere. Then.
no, when I say children, I mean in a technical sense, in the sense that um like would we consider children like from a biological stance? You know what I mean? But again, all that depends on you though, as the writer. So if you wanna look at it um, I don't think you wanna look at it from a from any other way than the biological way, because then like when do we call someone an adult biologically, right? We call them an adult when they are well formed, when they have matured, when no part of their body still requires growth in a sense, right? So that happens
But
when
we
when
still have overgrown infants.
oh my goodness, then he goes to the outliers. I'm talking about
What?
interquartile range. Just stay in there.
All right, all right.
Okay, what is your third reason, Mr. Pate?
Okay, third reason. So, like we said, teenage pregnancy is a good one. Parents occupied with work, that's a good one. Um,
So a
else?
teenage pregnancy would cover the part whereas the child has to be dependent because the parents are like under. How do
not
I say it?
necessarily, not necessarily, not necessarily. Teenage
Because
pregnancy.
like if the child has to work,
You
Oh, we
mean
have a person in
that's
here.
another thing. You know, you could say the child, the parents
Oh,
are.
hey, Julie. Hey, hey, girl.
I guess yeah, well, it don't have to necessarily. Um, but we talk about immaturity on the part of the parents, and so maybe what we could do it broadly is say we could talk about that's true. Maybe we could talk about instead of making teenage pregnancy the broad aspect, maybe we can say immaturity on the side of no, I don't want to deal with that because then that would be too broad of a thing. Let's just keep it with it. Teenage pregnancy. When parents occupied with work, I think we
neglection can work.
neglection was rare case, but neglection could work.
You
Neglection and
see, I just it's so difficult. It took me a while. Trust me, the
Oh, that's
person who do this
cool.
for strong.
Okay.
abandonment. No neglect. Right. And abandonment.
So Mr. Petit, the answer they're planning.
Um, no, they didn't show me that. I think what we cut it on is we forget societal influence, right? And what I mean by that is
Like air pressure.
like it is it is and it is like think about it. When you are in how long does society give for a fourth grader to be in fourth grade? Think about that. How long?
1 year.
About a year, right? Now, what if that person who's in fourth grade say, you know what, I need more time? What do we tell them as a society?
No.
No. What do we tell them? We say, go up, right? Go to the next grade, right?
Yeah, because time cost effective.
It's not only is it cost effective, it's that's the time limit we give you, right? So, and then when you reach in grade five, the pressure is on from society, from your parents, to your aunties, to your family, from your peers. Listen, we need to go from the fifth grade to the sixth grade, and so on. So you have those influences that you have, right? Now, what happens, right? Think about this for me. What happens when you are an adult now? So you're not in school, and you spend the first 2 years of your life out of school and you haven't completed a single book. Now, which board do they put you under? Which jail do they put you in? Which dean is going to look at your personal life and say, hey, you are 27 and you haven't completed a single book yet. Why?
You're lousy.
Right? Like no one does that, right? And so it's because of that a
Trying
lot,
to Kenneth.
and it's because of that it's because of that same phenomenon that a lot of people, quote unquote adults, um go around and get away with a lot of things that children who would do the same thing would never get away with, right? It's because the societal influences contribute to negative behavior. All right. And so what I mean is, take for example this thing about rearing children, right? Um men get um men get applauded, for being a player and not um stepping up to the plate when it comes to rearing their children. Um the norm is, you have children, you work, barely spend time with them, and then you let them go on their own, and the idea of rearing children is becoming I think what contributes to this too is, like I say, societal influences, but what really contribute, if I had to make a third point and really defend it, I would go more on the turn of societal influences, right? We have new norms, I ain't gonna. And what I mean is that this fall under
We got Coco Melon.
a lot of things. The first thing is the new I would say the rather new phenomenon of women um working like men, right? And what I mean by that is, um we could label that under the gender equality movement. Um that is being a big problem because who would normally be the, yeah, we know parents do it, but who would normally be the, like in old days, who would normally be the main, caretakers of the children, right? Um,
Grandparents.
the
The
grandparents,
female.
The female, the mother.
the mother, right?
iPod.
And because of this whole gender equality thing, right? Men to work, they want men and women on equal positions, and at equal, and women are now seeking um um work outside of the home, right? Because of that, um that is causing, and then men go work, that's no doubt, you know what I mean? So that's causing a shift to happen, like, so okay, if the man go to work and the woman go to work, then who's taking care of the children? And so that is
Caretaker.
that is that is that is believe it or not, that is what's causing the imbalance, because someone got to be there with the children, right? Like that's just how it's supposed to be. Someone got to be there. Otherwise, then don't have children, right? But if someone is planning on having children, then someone got to give, right? If the husband is gonna stay home and watch the children, well, he got to stay home and watch the children. If woman gonna do it, then she got to do it. But someone got to do it, right? And the problem is,
You can't hire people to do them kind of stuff.
yeah, but it's your children, right? And
But
so,
at that point, who child it would be?
yeah, you know what I mean. It's your children, and so it comes right back to the same point I'm making, right? Persons don't understand their role and obligation as parents because they're immature. They don't understand that, and it's a like it
At
still come back to
parenting is a
societal
full
influence.
time job.
Yeah, it comes back to societal influences. We have not. I guarantee you. And this is not to knock anyone out, right? But I guarantee you, if this was 50 years ago, no one would ask these questions. They wouldn't ask these questions. Like, you would know, like, you would be taught from when you were small, you would be taught this is how you govern a house. This is how you operate. When you become a mother, when you become a daddy, this is how you do it. But those lessons are becoming less and less and less, not only effective, but taught. That's just what happens nowadays. And and women who actually decide to do it get no ratings. And so women who decide to say, you know what, let me just be a housewife and take care of these children, they get no ratings in society because, well, society don't really count them as um I guess heroes or worth anything, right? Which is stupid, right? Because but anyway, that's a whole different story for a whole different day. But I think that's one of the major problems. Like there's a society, there's a shift, right? That's happening. Um, I mean, and then we can't really um, you can't really blame the woman in a sense because, well, we are failing men, and so because men are failing in their roles, um, and taking advantage of women too, that's causing them to say, you know what, I tired of depending on y'all. Let me just go ahead and do what I have to do. And I guarantee you, if I was a female, I was not going to um just wait on someone to marry me for me to, you know, essentially, get money from them anytime I need it. I promise you I wasn't gonna do that, right? Um, so because I mean, who can you trust, right? It's, sad, right? And so I could
Yeah, trust
understand,
yourself. That's it.
yeah, that's it, right? So I can understand why, women are saying, we ain't on this run. We're gonna get our degrees. We're gonna do what we can do to make sure that we can at least provide for ourselves. Um, and if we find someone, then the more the merrier. But we're not gonna put ourselves in a compromising position. I could understand that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem comes when that career woman buys into the lie that her career is gonna fulfill her, and she realizes that, as with all women do, like it's just how they are wired. Like career doesn't fulfill a woman. It's people and family and those stuff, right? So she end up having a family like how she wants, and what happens? She have to go to job too, and so then there's about imbalance, and that's where the problem comes, right? Because you're the mother, right? They only have one mother, they end up two, right? And so and then the daddy ain't gonna say, well, I can stop working, right? To stay home with the children, like
And it's promotion around the corner.
he ain't doing that. And so, hey, what it is? Oh, we forget something else. Technological advances. That is a big one. Oh my goodness. That really facilitates everything, bro. Oh my goodness.
So what you're saying is that if that's the way parents should govern their kids, right, in that sense,
Uh-huh.
then no one should have children then. That
No,
sounds
I
like a
wouldn't say no
perfect.
one should have children. Um, I wouldn't say no one should have children. What I'm saying is
Just sacrifice.
it's a sacrifice. That's just
But
it.
if no one willing to make it, then what's the purpose?
You have people who are willing to make it. You just have to find the right
Well,
people.
and that's the condition we're in now. Like the world running out of people as we speak.
Yeah, for sure, that's a fact. Like, I mean, look at China.
People don't want to have no baby
They
because
don't have
it's
no
too much
children.
of a hassle. So,
Yeah, they
well,
don't.
just run out of people.
I understand that sense.
Um,
Makes sense.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's see again. It comes right back to societal influences, right? Like, um, we have lost our ground as a people. We have lost our moral footing, right? We really have, and um, and so we have not really understood why we're here in the first place. Like if you ask if you ask any kid, that's why people can't even stay in school for 8 hours without complaining. Because you ask them, okay, why you here? Like for real, like all jokes aside, why you here? Where you come from, and what are you doing, and where you going? Right? Those questions.
Well, I'm here because I have to be because I can't stay home
Exactly.
from my parents.
Exactly.
And I'm going back home
I
to
go
play.
back home. Like, and I mean like that. I mean in the sense like, like for real, why? And it's because people have lost their why that a lot of things happen. And so I'd say that we've really lost our way as a society. Really lost our way. And so things like community, family, those things are losing their stronghold. But those are the things that, you know, studies showed us like what gives people are more committed, right? More committed um, to family than anything else, right? That's what the study found. Like their family makes people make their commitments stronger, right? Like if you're just doing it for money, I mean, at the end of the day, after you get the money, then okay, you buy a house, and then what you do? You stay in the house by yourself, like to do what, right? Exactly. You know what I mean? To go to work, to come back to the house just to sleep and then talk. Like no, like no one thinks, like unless I don't know, unless you wear it, like no one just thinks.
Some people could live alone. I think
No,
that's
some people could
possible.
live alone. I know that's possible, right? But even if you live alone, you would not live alone. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. Check anyone who say they live
Okay.
alone. What do they have? They have a chihuahua or a cat.
I know, right? I just I wanted a
They're
dog.
not gonna
It
live
was me.
alone.
Oh,
They're not gonna. Don't mind them. Say live alone. They can't live alone. Don't mind. No. And then if they don't have any children of their own, what they gonna do? Either they gonna adopt someone or they gonna give out food in the community. Why? Because we're so
Mr. P,
busy.
is that always the case?
no photo.
Uh, having pets and stuff.
My daddy don't have no pets,
Who?
and he live alone.
He have a structure though.
Apart from
He have a
apart
structure.
from the roaches, he have
He have
no
a.
one there with him.
Let's say roach.
All right. Anyway, let me go back to this. Because I run on too much. Technological advances. This really helped. I ain't gonna lie. This really helped more than anything. If I would put this in the top three too. Um,
But
YouTube.
Mr. Petit, that proved my point that no one would think about it. You see how you got to deepen that? You know, grade ninth grader gonna think that like that. Like their level of understanding hasn't wouldn't reach that point
This is in the ninth grade.
unless they well
Exactly.
prepared.
What grade they in, eh?
This is in the.
Unless they well prepared. Because no, the way they opened that, I could tell that down a 12th grader.
Uh, well, that speaks volumes. Uh, well, YouTube,
If not then when?
um, games. Oh my goodness, the PlayStations, um, the internet, all these things
The
makes it
Xboxes.
all these things make it um easy for children to wear themselves. Because now, back in the day, back in the day compared to now, back in the day, if you leave your children unoccupied,
What goes on?
you have to go outside, figure out where they is. They probably get drowned. You know what I mean? But now you could go to Miami, stay there for a week, and come back and meet your child with the same clothes, wearing the same boxes, sitting and playing the same game, and they they ain't sleep yet.
Nasty.
Real.
They
Now
ain't
pull
sleep
our
yet.
files
They ain't sleep yet.
like that.
And so, or you could go take a trip to Dubai, stay there for a week or two,
Yes.
come back, and they still watching the same Netflix series. They ain't moved from the couch yet. And so, as a parent, you're like, whoa, wow, shoots. I have a babysitter at home to pay. Okay, let's go. And so technological advances is really um, one of the things that um,
One of the main parenting skills they learn is
I
to
mean,
teach their children how to use the tablet.
exactly. No, that you lie, you lie, may be laughing, but that's so true. Go to the
Yeah.
clinics. Go to the clinics these days, right? If they ain't have that, if they have that tablet in a child and they cannot stay, they can't sit down. You know what I mean? That's the mechanism right there.
That is so true. When I go there, I be like, listen to me. If this thing going on 100, I go home.
Exactly. Exactly, right? Every if when you go to them stuff, if they ain't have no sockets, it's like wow. If they have sockets, you know that occupied one shot, right?
My phone always dead.
And so yeah, it's sad. So um, so teenage pregnancy. the occupation of the severe occupation of parents to their jobs, societal influences. You could go a whole lot away with this. New norms, the gender inequality movement, the fact that we have um, this could go a whole different ways. Not only with the gender equality thing, but also with the standards, man. Lowered standards, man. Lowered standards on what it means to be a parent. Standards are really low. Society don't look at you no different when you have a child and don't take care of them versus when you have a child and take care of them. Like it's like there's no standards, right? So really,
I think they are. I think there's some standards
there's some
now.
standards. I believe that,
But the
right?
only standard is what school you send them to. That's it.
Say it again.
Oh, my
No,
child's go to St. Hans. That's all you get out. No, it's not.
no,
I always help my child do this and
No,
that.
exactly.
no. There's more standards than that. It ain't that bad now.
All right. I glad that you are optimistic.
It can't be that bad.
See, listen, I in the schools. I telling you, it that bad.
It's not that bad. Mr. C, we haven't reached that level of stupidity yet.
Listen to me carefully.
You sure?
Let me tell you something.
No, we can't reach the level of stupidity.
Anyway, let's go at what bad it is. I really want to tackle this. So there's so much more we could, then you have neglect and abandonment and different stuff. So this is four that I give.
My first thought is that RNS.
Yeah, of course, that's bad. What I really didn't like about this is, man, this thing is not, listen to how it sound. I just read it how it sound, especially the first sentence. The first sentence is where it's terrible. It says, unfortunately, in a child's household is, you see that? In a child's household is well. This is that like we write how we speak.
That's slang. I say that. We write how we speak. You know this person.
Not good. In a child's household is well. The presence of leadership is established or missing. But why you say unfortunately? You see? It's like it was a forced unfortunately. And then they say as a result. As a result of what? This didn't say nothing. All they say in the child's household is where the presence of leadership is established or missing. What they should have said is, unfortunately, in a child's household, the presence of leadership is missing. So they should have said. So unfortunately, in a child's household, the presence of leadership is missing. Perfect. As a result, this can lead to as a result, this okay, guys, they say can. Okay, all right. Like they can. As a result, this can lead to youths being ignorant and undisciplined to others. Okay. All right. Building up a case here. These two sentences are good. Once corrected. They said um, when you have mission leadership, you have undisciplinedness and the children being ignorant. Very good. Nevertheless, comma, them. No, 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 no. You can't say nevertheless them. No. Nevertheless, them being undisciplined. No, 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 no. You can't say that.
She supposed to use a simile for children.
Yeah, not a simile. You mean a synonym?
Yeah, sorry, a synonym for to that isn't a good one.
No.
It's like
Nevertheless, when a child is rearing itself, so you can't say itself for a child, right?
themselves or
You can't use themselves because you say a child. So you have to say
they.
You can't say they because you said a child. But if you said children, then you could say they.
Oh, she classified as one.
She said a child.
Oh, so she could have used the thing and be more specific and use
children or youths or whatever. But let's fix that. So nevertheless, I don't like how they say nevertheless. They shouldn't have said nevertheless because what it does is that what they should have do, they should have continued talking about the missing thing, and then venture into their 3 points, because they say, nevertheless, being indisciplined, when a child rearing itself, it can motivate them by being more mature than others their age or older. No, man, no, they miss it. No, this is not what the essay is about.
Colloquial.
No, what they're saying is, here's the problem. They're saying, nevertheless. See, what the person started to do is it started to make a case on why it's good for children to rear themselves. Because what they say, nevertheless, being undisciplined, when a child is rearing itself, it can motivate them by being more mature than others their age or older. So they started now to list the benefits of rearing yourself. But that's what they're talking about. It's saying why they rearing themselves and how this happens. So you giving me the benefits of them rearing themselves is not what we wanted. Okay? And then they say this is being done. Okay? And don't ever start a sentence with this. State exactly what you talking about. All right? So you mean um this the children ran themselves is being done. You could change that to that. But this whole thing right here, you don't need this. This is not needed at all. So that started from, unfortunately, in a child's household, the presence of leadership is missing. Perfect. As a result, this can lead to youths being ignorant and undisciplined to others. Right? Perfect. Then they could say, um, the reason why children are rearing themselves, um, or we could say there are there are many reasons why children can why some children rear themselves. These reasons include, number one, teenage pregnancy, number two, social influences, and number three, technological advances. And then that's a good introduction.
Oh,
Yeah,
same thing, but all that.
so they are the problem with that they really mess up in logos, but they didn't answer the question. They missed the target. So like this is the target, right? This is the bullseye, and they are like here.
In this case, no, ain't no joke. In this case, I just would Mr. P, I don't know you understand it, not to say that it's a good thing, but I would suggest that they rewrite the entire thing because it isn't coming, reading it like that isn't coming together for me. I will, I'll rewrite the entire thing, like the entire introduction.
Yeah, I'll rewrite it. No, I like how it's coming together. It's nice how it's coming together. Because
You know what I mean? Like the first part of the one we went over. In this case, I'll rewrite it because if they look at the language, it how do I say it? It isn't coming together like
it's not
you
smooth.
I gotta think hard. Like it isn't.
It isn't smooth. It's incoherent. I like the inside.
I gotta be like, okay, I think this person is trying to say whereas I supposed to say, okay, this person is saying.
Yes.
See the difference between I think I gotta think about what she's saying, which is what shouldn't be so in an essay. You isn't supposed to have them guessing. You're supposed to have them understanding and okay, like okay, all right, I feel you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So what really was bad was I didn't like the the dialect is when, and what else they said, them being, no, those shouldn't be there. It really messed up the flow. And then the first line was just wrong. This was wrong. We had to change that up immensely because It really didn't correlate to the as a result. As a result means this is because. But when you just said that they have leadership, but then they don't have leadership, and then you say as a result that it results in them being undisciplined. No, you're supposed to say, okay, they don't have leadership. Leadership is missing, so therefore they are being undisciplined. That's perfect. So, yeah, that wasn't good. And then this whole part about um the benefits of rearing themselves need not be there. Just go straight into the thesis. Um, and don't use this. State exactly what you mean, and then look at our points. They are mature. They are well thought about. We um we have so much to take from this, like from these things. We could, so we have the stuff in brackets. We have so much that we could peel out together and everything, right? And so there's a whole lot more logos they could have put in there. All right, and so I need more logos from this person. Really need more logos.
The biggest problem was that they didn't understand the question because they approached it. If she'd approached it the right way, even though her English, like her grammar was bad, at least she would have grasped that she understood it. But the way she worded it, she didn't understand. The person didn't understand what was being asked of them.
Mr. Petit, did the person write a plan?
No plan was given.
Probably needed the plan.
Failed then.
Yeah, no plan was submitted. Hello?
Top of the morning.
But good job to whoever tried it, because the topic was a tad difficult.
Nancy, how you think you would do with that topic?
Not so well, honestly. Not. I still would have
I never was gonna think all of these stuff, like where is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just probably wouldn't. I probably would have got like a 2 out of 5 if he was marking out of 5. A 2 out of 5. I be honest with her. I line up big enough myself. I know my English.
You get more than I would have get that one. No, I lied. It was a good
now we grading it.
I'm not trying to be harsh or anything, but
2 out of 5. That sounds reasonable.
1 out of 5.
1 out of 5. Yeah, because
no, the person
they didn't answer the question.
They didn't answer the question, and then even with them giving reasons, they didn't state it properly. They didn't give me a sense of idea. What am I picking up?
No.
They didn't give me a good foundation.
No, not at all. So yeah, they didn't.
It's a good try. The topic was difficult, but they didn't give me the effort.
Yeah, I'd say 1 out of 5. I'd argue that too.
Yeah, the one for them trying.
But
no, it ain't.
Honestly, let's be honest. We could see elements of it there, because they tried to start off in a good way, right? They tried to be broad and go specific. They tried to include the thesis statement.
Yeah. I think they just didn't understand the question.
That's the problem. They didn't understand it. I would give them 2 if they did attempt to give me 2 another reason. Then that could have helped.
I can't even give them 2 because they say this. What this supposed to refer to? What do you mean this? This what? This activity, this dance, this show, this what? This game? What? What's this?
Even if she did get misinterpreted, but
what she mean,
like a decent quality essay for reasons why, even though she misinterpreted, she could get away with 2 because she missed the point. But the fact that she could give me a decent introduction on her point, she could get away with 2. But she failed to do that as well. So.
When they say this, they mean wearing himself or no?
We can't assume what they mean. They say this.
Can't assume because then I say you're supposed to. I'm supposed to assume. I'm supposed to read what you say and go by that. This is why I hate English.
I swear.
Did you ever read my essay?
But I said
Yeah.
Did I mean all people submit essays? You don't read them. You don't. It's coming with. It's catching up with you, Miss
Yeah,
City.
put on the spot, just.
No,
God is not pleased.
no, I'm asking because I told him not to read it. I told him to read it personally, but like I want to know if you actually read it.
No, I didn't read it. Honestly, I didn't read it. That was a long time though.
I know. I just remember it just now as you was reading.
Yeah, I didn't read it. That's funny.
So
Nah,
you
that
want me?
one, that one I
Oh,
remember. That one I remember. I didn't read
you want me like to send it like over or something?
it. I want you all to write a different one with um. I forgot what
No,
it was.
I really want to send that because I felt like I did good on that
I
one.
think it, but was your hand? I think the issue I had was your handwriting. I think.
Yeah, that's why I say if you want me to write it
Yeah,
over.
write it over. Write it over.
You want us to write an essay?
Yeah, I want you to write an essay.
Miss Matilda, after I didn't calculate this person who you think I should be exempt from the essay. I have an essay on Thursday morning.
When your essay Thursday? Yeah, write an essay.
Thursday.
Submit it on Wednesday. We can go through them Bgcse.
I being excused
But
for
you
the
can slay
essay.
me before my examination.
Yeah, we can slay you before the exam. Let's get you fast.
I apologize to whoever I said that was. I didn't slay you. I just wanted you to be better. Do not slay me on Wednesday.
Please slay it, especially Nancy. She had the most money.
Yeah.
No, but I'd be respectful to the person because I don't want to lie to them and tell them that it was the best
Yeah,
piece.
you know?
And then they go on exam and do the same thing and then get F and say that we was the ones to tell them that they was good when they really need more practice.
Yeah.
I need that person just need more practice understanding.
Yeah.
And I respect you for that.
They wouldn't have an issue. I want the person to pass. I want the person to go in there and say, okay, mother shoot anything. My fighting so dread. I can go, I fail. Embarrassed myself. Oh, I want you to be better.
You trying to be the best of friends to that person.
You said to focus more on the formal essays instead of the stories.
Exploratory, yeah.
Okay.
That question too easy. That I can't give you that one. That one is too easy. That yeah, I don't know why they give that. Okay, I like number.
Give me number 7, please.
Number 7. All right, write an essay on either number 2.
I like number 2 and 7.
Or 7.
2, 5, or 7.
Yeah, 2, 5, or 7.
Okay. Hold on, competitions. Hold on, what? I can't see.
Open your eyes, Nancy.
Competitions can be.
My classes are coming, guys. They're coming. They're coming.
They've been coming from last year.
Insulted.
They're coming from when we first.
No, but this time I went to the checkup and they're coming.
Yeah. Yes, Nancy, they're coming.
Yes, who?
That is saying God stuff with matters.
All right. Adolescents who commit serious crimes should be tried as adults. Give your views. Competition can be healthy or unhealthy. Share your views on the statement. Excuse me. And a number of issues.
Could you circle the numbers just in case people?
Yeah, I thought about that. Thank you.
Get confused.
2, 5, or 7. An essay on any one of those 3. 2, 5, or 7.
Mr. Petit, because I talk so much, I know you can grab mine and you can slay me. You can slash me up. Listen to me. You know I ain't good at this English thingy. I just know the rules. I don't know how to
apply them.
But I know the rules.
All right, so those are your 3. We spent a lot of time tonight, so let me let y'all go. It's 9:30 and tomorrow's a work day.
No.
Okay, no problem. I just want to say good night to those who are leaving. Have a wonderful night. For those who are staying.
Good night.
We got class later.
Good night.
Good night to people.
Good night.
Good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
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 So when they say several, that means you could like do more than a normal 3 then.
Please only do
Like
3.
we do 3.
Please only do 3. You can do more, but you'll take time to develop them. Stick to the 5 paragraph essay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's good.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
You too.
Yes, sir.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.